It's okay. It says we're live. It says we're live.
So what are you guys' thoughts on men?
Hey, chat.
That's gay.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, okay, it's live.
Alright, it's live. So what were those like intro questions that you wanted to ask while we let people
I
filter
can't remember. I deleted them.
Oh, good,
Nice.
good. Because I have the like example ones you have saved right here. The first one is fucking wild. I'm like, why are we adding this to like an introduction video?
I was like, why is everything echoing? And it's because I had the fucking live stream up. I'm retarded.
So the main point of this video is to get everybody here ready for 11th edition. Because fuck me, we have to always change editions.
Yeah, and what I hate about this newest edition is it's essentially the same fucking game.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that when we talk about it. Because I have a few positives about the edition, and I have a few negatives.
Yeah, well, there's positives. It's just it didn't have to be a full fucking edition update.
The issue is a 3-year cycle. Like this really feels like 3.5, where they're like,
Yeah.
oh, the whole 3.5 era, where there's like the game fundamentally changed halfway through 3rd edition.
Yeah.
But back then they didn't feel like they need to make a whole new edition.
Yeah.
My biggest takeaway from reading all these rules, because I read, to be fair though, I read the French PDF version of the rules. So I had the translated version, and then they released the new version, whereas I got done writing all my notes.
Wait, why
Before
is it
someone
in French?
asks, I am Canadian, but I do not speak French.
Wait, you don't speak French, but you're Canadian?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Most of them don't.
It's like
Yeah,
10%
no,
of the
no.
population on the East Coast speaks French, and nobody else does.
Okay,
Fuck
so
Quebec.
all that tells me is you're a gay guy who can't speak French.
Nigga.
What?
What the fuck, dude? Come on!
Okay. alright.
What? He's Canadian.
No!
Like, you could have
no.
said anything
the
else. You could
thing,
have
the
said
thing that a
anything else.
certain minority said to get me canceled on stream.
A minority. I am a minority.
I mean, to be fair,
What do you
Dust had
mean?
a black brother, and he said I could say it.
But
Yeah.
does he care?
You can't say
I
it
have-
on YouTube.
Oh.
I
Wait,
can't
so
say someone's gay on YouTube. What do you mean?
Oh,
think you're
Dusk,
finding these things
Dusk
once again.
completely missed it. That
Oh,
flew
you
right over
completely
his
missed
head.
it.
Oh,
You want me to
okay.
say it again?
No,
Yeah,
no,
okay.
I don't.
I want to hear it.
No,
What-
we're not
what'd you
even.
say?
We have to wait. We have to wait at least a few minutes in the video before we swear. God damn it! This is just a mess.
No.
I mean, to be fair,
That's
swears are
on
different from
videos, not
swearing.
live streams. Live streams don't pick that up.
I guarantee
I'm
you
saying.
they'll pick up the word he just said.
What?
He said the N word.
Yeah, but he's black.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm
YouTube
just.
Yeah, but
doesn't
he's
care.
black.
Yeah. First of all,
what do you
I
mean?
mean, I'm only like
YouTube,
a quarter.
black
YouTube
guys
literally-
say it all the time on
You-
freaking YouTube, and they get like 1 million views for saying it. So we
YouTube
can
literally
say it, and he
flagged
can
my
say it.
account. My flagged my account. I had a YouTube short, based off of like one of the Uncle Ruckus's skits, about like the Council of Nicaea, and it was literally like, "Hang that N-word now! I got the rope right here!" And it flagged
Okay,
it,
to be
and I
fair,
got.
Boondocks is kind of wild.
I literally
Nicaea.
got a violation on my channel for like 3 months because of that.
Boondocks is
Yeah.
kind of wild. It
Yeah,
is
well,
kinda wild.
sucks to suck.
Well, so what are you guys drinking today? Because this is Drunk Hammer.
I'm having my coffee first.
Irish
unless
coffee,
you're
good,
having
good,
some,
good
like,
option.
like-
No, just a regular coffee.
Yeah,
I don't know
Irish
how
coffee,
to-
Irish coffee, and then you're gonna go drive, so that's always fun. You know
No,
what they
I don't
don't.
actually have to drive today anymore.
You know what they don't tell you about drunk driving?
You do it better when you're drunk.
How fun it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I need you guys to entertain the people while they're filtering in, because I need to put a piece of bread in the oven.
He's making baguettes.
Oh, oui! entertaining.
Whose idea was it for us to do this in so many different time zones? For me, it's 6 p.m. For Dustin,
Yeah,
it's
It's
10.
8 p.m.
Well, I live in Australia. What do you expect?
Well, yeah, I know, but
You
it's
know,
just
you know
funny
what?
'cause we have
You know
every
what?
time zone
I knew
except for
about
one
9/11
splash.
before it happened, and I still didn't tell you. What does that tell you?
Nice. Nice.
I guess he did, yeah. Kind of.
Your president's a sex offender. Sorry, I'm thinking of all the freaking Australian soccer.
It's not like Australia
Things.
isn't.
Well, you know the
Yeah.
Americans.
Blood.
How does it
It's
feel
like-
to suck at soccer?
How does it feel to have the worst chants in the world that make you sound like High School Musical, but with LSD
Hey,
and gay
hey,
sex?
hey,
LFD.
hey,
really?
hey. The chant doesn't matter. The fact that we've made it this far has impressed me. This is a game we
Okay.
don't give a shit
Okay,
about.
Stop. What do you mean you don't give a shit? Your country has been giving so much shits about it for the longest time ever.
No, like legitimately half the country, like where I live.
No. Since
No,
the women got into it,
No, like seriously, half the people don't give a shit. I was literally at the store today buying ingredients, and I asked somebody, "Hey, did you watch the World Cup game?" And they legitimately turned around. This is like a person who works at the store, looked me dead in the eyes and went, "What the fuck is World Cup?"
yeah, that's because it's America.
Nobody in the
America.
U.S. cares about the World Cup.
Which is
Yeah, they
very
do.
confusing because you guys are hosting it.
Yeah, every country / continent gets. To host it.
I
Every
promise you,
moment.
there's only like 30% of the U.S. actually cares.
No, but like even Qatar, right? Even though they were just doing it to like friggin' money hog and shit, and they got kicked out of the World Cup, which is even funnier. Even they, like a majority of Qatarians, as I think it's called, they actually cared.
No, but that's
Most
what I mean.
Americans don't actually watch it,
I would argue that the majority of Americans don't care about soccer.
which is interesting.
Well, not really.
It's
You-
weird
you-
because I'm a Canadian. We're known for hockey, and I don't care about hockey, but I do care about soccer.
Yeah, because you're a faggot.
Well, so
Oh my
the funniest part of this whole
What? I
argument.
care about soccer too. That makes me a fag
You
as
want-
well. I'm allowed to say.
You
it.
want to know the funniest part of this whole argument?
What?
Whenever I travel abroad, I always get shit for calling it soccer, even though the United States was not the one to come up with that term. It was the British
Football.
themselves.
It's football.
No. I'm not going to say it's not football. What I am saying is the term soccer stands for association football, because when soccer was created, you had two versions of football in England. You had rugby football, and then you had association football. Therefore,
So you
they
had
came
football
up.
with your feet and football with your hands.
So they came up with association football to describe that version of football that you play with your feet. The version of football that came to the U.S. was the rugby kind, and that would eventually become American football.
What men?
So the English-speaking people, the ones who supposedly invented this language, invented the word soccer, and then like half their population aren't even intelligent enough to know their own goddamn history that they invented the word.
Most Americans don't know history, so I mean. I
That's
think you're
because our
demanding a little bit.
education system is more geared to like social studies than actual history.
Which is kind of hilarious
It's dumb. I
because social
You- you
history
will
is
not-
looked down upon in the States.
you will not come see me defending the United States history teachers.
Because fucking no one gives a shit about the humanities. They always either clown on it.
Well, that's because
Also, talking about football,
you don't make money in humanities.
guess what I did yesterday?
But
Yes, we know you played football.
No, I played football / soccer with a pulled quad from the beginning, and I made 2 goal line saves, and one of them was really funny because the goalkeeper got fucking chipped with a corner. The ball was going in the very top of the goal, and I jumped and I headed the ball like a dickhead.
you know, are you sure you got your brain injury from the car accident?
Yeah, I got the brain injury from the car accident, and it just makes me even more retarded.
Well, be
No,
careful
actually,
what you be careful what you say. They might bring up what you say in the court of law.
I've already been to court. I can't go back.
That was fucking hilarious.
I know, it's so stupid. I can't believe they brought up the live streams, and it's like freaking.
What do you
like,
mean?
Canadian
I love
women
it.
are the best women. It's so stupid, man.
I love it. It was beautiful.
Isn't it illegal to bring that up in court because it's
No.
like entertaining stuff?
No,
Isn't that how rappers
no,
get
no,
away with
I didn't
just
bring
like
it up.
talking about
My
committing murder
opponents
in
brought it
songs?
up. No, my opponents brought it up. I didn't bring it up.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
aren't they not allowed to do that?
No, they're allowed to. I'm not
It's
allowed
Australian.
to, but they are.
It's Australian courts, so they work different.
We have the same fucking court system.
Weird.
Well, no.
Wait,
You do and you don't. Remember, all of our court systems are based off of English common law, but we don't have
Yeah.
the exact same court system. So you can say we
Well,
do,
we don't have the.
but it's like everybody has the same Space Marine army, but they chose to paint it a different way. So therefore,
Yeah,
the
no,
end
it's-
result is still different.
No, the problem. The problem is our law.
Remember?
The courts work the same way, but our laws are different, and our common law is different.
Yeah.
So, in we're allowed to show live streams, but if I chose to show them, not allowed. But because my opponents chose to show them, it was allowed.
Man, the court systems are dumb. What about those Mormons stealing Legos?
Yeah. What about the fact that TAC are just a bunch of fuckwits who don't want to pay people that they owe money to?
So
about the cop
who
who didn't
here
do a
is
job
actually here to play 11th edition though?
Is anyone here yet? I'm not paying attention to the chat.
I didn't expect
By
you
the way,
to.
what do you think I made, Dusk? I'm trying to think of a template.
What thing?
Look at the chat. Look at the chat in Discord.
Yeah.
See, I had to end up going to a different artist because you never finished the art I wanted you
Canadian.
to. Where it was like,
I literally just did it.
no. This was a while back for a thumbnail because this was for
yeah.
the highlight scene where it was me and Dusk arguing about the Iron Hands Combat Patrol, and I wanted you to
yeah,
do
that was
like the
100%
cat
on me.
meme.
Is there
Yeah,
any
that was
Me.
100%.
Iron Hands Combat Patrol?
Yeah, the
There
Iron
is
Hands
something?
Combat Patrol is dog shit.
No, it's good.
Is it new? Is that a thing?
No, it's been a thing for quite a while.
I mean, they're
Oh.
probably going to get a new one because we have to release a new
It
one
can't-
every edition.
God damn, I just got my Instagram blew up. That's cool.
Dude, so
It
many
cannot
people.
possibly be as bad as the Dark Angels one
It's worse.
What?
with the Gravis captain
wait,
that
do
can't
you-
lead anything.
Did you not watch that episode? I'll recommend. Go look at the highlights right now on my
No.
channel. It's literally me and Dusk arguing about it. I'm not gonna rehash it, but just go watch that video. I'll link it to you after the stream.
Okay.
You'll
Huh?
see.
I don't
You'll
know.
see, because Dusk
like this?
tried to say it was S tier.
I didn't do anything.
And
It
it's
is
like
S tier.
the worst box we had.
It is S tier. Shut the fuck up.
Dusk, we're not getting back into this. Just go watch that stream if you want to see
This
it or
is
watch the highlights.
Such an interesting.
What all's
Such
in
an
it?
interesting fucking group of people.
Okay. We have people
like
filing
penis.
in now. I think we can start. We can start now because people are filing in.
Yeah, because they're sick of hearing me talk about,
Don't
stuff.
worry, Dusk. I'm sick of hearing you talk as well. That's why I'm
Yeah.
drinking today. I'm drinking Smirnoff
Smirnoff.
because I'm gonna get fucked up.
It's called Smirnoff,
Oh, no.
not Smirnoff.
So how's everyone's week been? You know, like just.
Oh,
just-
terrible. The worst
Okay,
week of all
alright.
time.
All right.
I'm trying to
Alright,
move
well,
us into like actually talk about Warhammer. Okay.
Well, then hurry up because I'm
So Lilith Asparax,
um,
you know what I mean? What's your thing with naked women in lingerie?
Oh, I finished it.
Oh my
too. She
fucking
looks
god!
fucking
We're here
great.
to talk about 11th edition.
I am
mean,
talking about 11th edition.
Okay.
Let us
Illumination. Focus. Lock the fuck
Yeah,
in.
I'm
not
Que-
into women, right?
Lock the fuck in. Question.
I mean, you know I'm not into women, right?
I always
Yeah, you're
knew,
into men.
So let's talk about the core rules. So a lot of stuff is changing and a lot of stuff isn't changing about 11th edition. And I've made this easy cheat sheet that I can publish on the Discord if people want it. So stuff like the current codexes are still connected to the new edition, which basically means you can use your current codex until they come out with a new one. This does lower the barrier of entry, but at the same time, it kind of highlights that they weren't going to change the system so much that they can't still use the old one. So this is 10.5, not really 11th.
I have some thoughts on this.
So anyone who has a current codex, you're a winner here. Anyone who wants to start fresh, you're kind of a loser. Because, like, say you don't want to buy Space Marines, basically you're going to buy a codex that's only going to be used for a few months and then have to replace it. But if you already own it, your current codex still works. So that's the first one of the big points they highlighted. What's your thoughts on this,
Okay.
Jay?
So the codexes are and aren't going to be usable because all of the detachment points have to change, and then they are going to have to nerf a bunch of stuff.
Oh, that's
As
the
they
next
go.
point I'm getting into.
So the idea that you can like reuse your old codex is kind of a lie, because it's going to work for a little bit, but probably not for very long.
Well, so here's the thing: is it's going to work until you get a new one, but not all the information is relevant. However, counter argument to that is the information's already not relevant because they give you data
True.
sheets within the codex, but they've already updated the data sheets and updated the points. That's why they force you to
And this
use
is why
the
you
app
shouldn't
system.
own a codex. You should instead just use New Recruit and Wikipedia.
So I would say Wikipedia, New Recruit is amazing for making lists and building them. It is not good for necessarily pulling up points. Because me and my brother were having this issue when we were playing in our most recent game when he was using my Dark Angels. He was using the old rules that I normally use, because that's what I have saved on my phone, from New Recruit, where it still has it as the old style bolter that gets rapid fire. Apparently, intercessors no longer have rapid fire.
Yeah, I think they just got.
I'm
there was
sorry.
some other buff
They
got instead.
they now have assault, so you can move them, so you can advance them and shoot. But they also have sticky objective, which sort of encourages that play style. However, the counter is they've really nerfed shooting, and as we'll get to this further, they've really nerfed shooting pretty bad in 11th. There's so many like restrictions on shooting now.
Which
it's
is
kind of
good
getting-
because my Blade Guard will thrive in this environment.
It's good and it's not good, because if you want to play shooting army, it's kind of like just fucking taking your legs out. Like, a lot of things have had the rapid fire keyword removed. But they do have
Which
a
is
new
probably for the better, because rapid fires are not that good anyway. Like,
But
among
they did-
keywords that you can have, rapid
No,
fire
no,
just
no,
isn't
Jay,
very
they didn't
strong.
replace it with anything. They just removed it.
Yeah, but it wasn't really doing a lot before.
Yeah, it was doing a significant, especially for like Space Marines. The fact that I could get double the amount of dice to deal with like chaff and horde units was significant.
Yeah, but it's usually on, like, bolters, which are, like,
Yes.
what is it? Strength 5 or whatever, so
A
you're
bolter
probably
can
failing to
so
wound most things anyway.
no, not most chaff units. So let's take the Tyrannid chaff unit. It's gonna easily deal with termagants or hormagaunts. It's gonna easily deal with the boys from the orcs. It's gonna easily deal with incubi. No, I don't think they're called incubi. I forgot the name of the standard Dark Eldar. It's not
That's
gonna.
okay, so is everyone else.
It's pretty even against normal craft world. It's pretty easy even against normal Space Marines. Like the issue, Jay, you're having here is that almost half the armies are power armor armies. So anything that's not a power army, rapid fire would be very important to deal with.
I suppose that's fair, yeah.
So
I
I
wouldn't want
just
to
like
rely on
listed.
it, but
No, it's not relying on it. It's an extra buff to help make your units a bit more flexible.
All right, I see where you're
So
coming from.
so for, like, if you have to deal with, like, so for example, I'm the nasty Tyranid player, and I play 120 Termagants. You're gonna
In
have
that
to cut
matchup, I
through.
want flamers.
Yeah, but you don't get flamers because it's a normal intercessor.
It's fair. But we also have flamer intercessors now, which I think are the same points cost, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they're not intercessors. They are not
Yeah, I
considered
know.
intercessors.
I know that
So
that's
they
not
don't.
actually what they are. I'm
No,
I'm
so
being
they
a
don't
cheeky
get
little shit.
sticky. It's important because they don't get sticky.
Okay, yeah.
You don't have a sticky objective. So the next thing they've done is actually stole a page out of 9th edition book and brought back detachments. And this is where I'm going to bring up the difference between theme and narrative. They're going to argue, a lot of people in Games Workshop will argue, this is a very thematic edition. I don't think it's a very thematic edition. No, they'll argue that it's a very narrative edition. I don't think it's a very narrative edition. I think it's a very thematic edition, which might sound weird, but this is what I'm going to bring up. They're bringing back detachments, but detachments don't really do anything like they would from 9th edition. So instead of having to use like say you're playing the 4th Company Dark Angels. The 4th Company Dark Angels in lore only have access to a certain amount of troops. So so if you're playing 4th Company Dark Angels, you don't have access to the Raven Ring. You don't have access to Deathwing. You are limited to what troops they have there. That's a narrative. Okay, that's a narrative limitation. Here is a thematic limitation where you can pay for whatever detachments you want, and each detachment gives you a special rule like you have now, and you can pay for multiple detachments or pay a lot for a singular detachment. But they're not going to actually affect your army construction. Therefore, it's a thematic choice, not a narrative choice.
Yeah, that's kind of fair. Because, like, the first thing that I did was figure out because I'm playing salamanders, I want everything with flamers, and then I have a little Phobos section for, like, objective scoring and stuff. And so the first thing that I did when I was trying to figure out how to play in 11th was figure out what is the flamer detachment that's going to do that, and then what is the thing that complements Phobos units, and can I put those two things together? But ultimately, my army is the same. Like, I haven't changed anything, like you said. So.
Well, so here's the other thing that's going to make it complicated. Depending on what point level you're playing at, you'll only get certain amount of detachment points. So for me, playing Dark Angels, I love running Wrath of the Rock. However, there is now a 3-point detachment skill. So does that mean I can't run this at like a 1,000 point game?
Yeah, I've heard this brought up before. I forget who I was listening to, but someone had told me before that it probably makes more sense, and they might change it to be so that everything, like all the 3-point detachments, counts as 2-point detachments for the sake of 1,000 points. But they haven't made that, so.
But that
You're just
kind
gonna
of
have to
defeats
suffer.
defeats the purpose.
Well, because then you just straight up don't have access to those detachments until you're playing a 3K point game or whatever, or sorry, a 2,000 point game, which not everyone's going to be doing.
Yeah, exactly. You're seeing the flaw in the system. That's why I will always argue chapter rules is going to be way more relevant to what they want this to do than detachment rules.
Can you expand on that? I'm not sure I'm following with what.
So the thing is with
is.
how the detachment rules are set up. The detachment rules are set up to build to you take this rule around certain builds. So for example, say I want to take full Terminator army, I pick the rules that are associated with Terminator army. That Terminator army doesn't really matter if it's Imperial Fist, Ultramarine, or Blood Angel. Well, it does if it's Blood Angel because they have a special codex, but you get my point. The detachments don't really flesh out a narrative, they flesh out a theme.
Yeah, and it's a lot more like you say, it's not as much a narrative as a theme, where it's like Terminators, or like for Space Marines, it'll be Terminators and Gravis, or Tacticus armor or Phobos armor.
Yeah.
And then like some minor variations of those.
Yeah,
mostly.
that's what I mean. So it's not a narrative
Yeah.
thing where it's like, Ultramarines getting rapid redeployment, where any chapter, any company in that chapter would get it. It's now specified to specific types of armor you're running.
Yeah, I suppose that's maybe not everything that they want it to be. But I think for the sake of the game, I think that's probably better.
Also, it makes it a hell of a lot more complicated to learn the rules, because let's not even like pull from like Dark Angels. Dark Angels is my prime example because that's what I'm playing. Let's take Ultramarines. Ultramarines can take 9 different detachments, which means just because you're painted in blue doesn't mean you're going to be using the same rules, which then makes it harder to learn because the rules can change on a whim.
Yeah. And that's something that I was thinking about because I never did get around to playing 10th edition with my salamanders. But one of the things that I thought about at the time was, what if I run into somebody who's used to the typical strength of flamers, and then I hit them with the special salamander flamers that are crazier, and they don't realize that, and then I accidentally get a gotcha moment where me and my opponent don't have a mutual understanding of the rules. Like, I would be worried about that to the point where I'd have to like make sure to explain it all before the game so that I don't accidentally do that. And I think you'll get a lot more of that this edition. Potentially.
Well, but that's what I mean, is that's the whole issue with the detachments. Is the detachments were originally created back in like 9th, 7th, and 8th edition to be a way to limit your forces to be accurate to what they have to use in canon. So that was the idea. They got rid of it, and don't get me wrong, I do enjoy it, because like the old detachment system was rather restrictive. It was very restrictive. Like it didn't allow you to take the armies that were like kind of cool and niche. But now that we've completely got rid of the system, it wipes out, like, except for sticky objective, there's no real point to take intercessors.
Yeah, I don't really know how to feel about that.
So, at a 2-point list, you're gonna be able to play 2 to 3 point. You're gonna actually play and get the most out of these army rules. But even then, as rules are written right now, unless you're playing 3K, you don't get access to the 3-point detachment. So, unless they go back and FAQ that, as rules are written, that's how it is. Now, it's probably not in the spirit of this, but this is how it's written. However, the positive is that now you do have a lot more flexibility with list building. Because you can take more than one detachment, you can buff more than one type of armor. But personally,
Really
to me,
that change.
Personally, to me, I would just prefer to have like one flat rule, like Dark Angels get +1 plasma. It's just so much easier to remember than how they have it set up.
I kind of agree, but I also really like this because it means I can run whatever I think would be cool and not be super, super worried about like, because for instance, like I want to do all flamers because all flamers is awesome,
Yes.
but I also want to do point scoring. And Phobos is excellent for point scoring, so it makes a ton of sense that I would want to have both of those together. So for the sake of making lists that would normally be quite bad, like I don't really know the tournament stats, and I don't think that's how you should really measure things, but nobody keeps stats.
God, if you
For
bring up
casual games,
tournament
'cause
stats,
they're
I'm
casual.
kicking you out of this call. I hate the tournament scene. I think a lot of
I don't know if salamanders were ever particularly good, but
they were, whenever they got the codex, they were
this
good.
game was designed to be like a social interaction and not competitive. So
Well,
it
so
doesn't make sense.
here's the
But
thing.
for the sake of discussion, I think it makes sense to bring it up.
I'm just sick of all the political people in that.
Jay, this is what I'm gonna counter to you. This isn't a game. Well, it is a game, but it's war games are meant to simulate tactics and strategy. So focusing on sort of balancing and point scoring, I feel like sort of it goes against the spirit of it. Like, I love playing missions where I'm outnumbered or, it's asymmetrical. And I'll get into this sooner when we talk about scoring. I honestly don't think the new scoring systems are going to change anything. I think it's, again, a thematic change, not really a change that really changes the way anybody's going to play the game. Because at the end of the day, this is 10.5.
I can't remember what they changed about it to say anything. I did watch a Vanguard Tactics video, and I can't remember now.
Oh, God, not Vanguard Tactics. Vanguard Tactics are nice people.
What's wrong with Vanguard Tactics?
I fundamentally disagree with their ethos and approach to the game. They're nice people. Nothing wrong with them. But I fundamentally disagree with them because they were the first ones to pioneer the competitive scene.
Yeah, I don't like them.
I do not think Warhammer should be viewed over the lens of a competitive scene because it really shouldn't be viewed as a competitive game because that's not the point of the game. The point, since Rick Priestley and Rogue Trader, was always to tell a narrative on the tabletop.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
The reality, it sucks, but the reality is every single freaking game that's coming out now that isn't single player is designed to be competitive because everyone makes it competitive. It's no longer games for the past 10 years haven't been about let's have fun. It's been about I want to be the best at this. It's been a cultural shift rather than a actual, gaming shift.
So I think it's definitely a cultural shift, but I think it's a cultural shift forced onto us. Because we still see single player games come out, and we still see games like Helldivers, which wasn't a competitive game, and how massive was that? Space Marine 2.
No, but what I'm saying is
the reason why they've gone this way is because Warhammer wants the competitive money. They want to have a bunch of people sign up to things like Las Vegas Open, to Adepticon, to these tournaments where they make a lot of money and play the game. Yeah. And it also coincides with them not really caring about their background story.
Yeah, that's fair. The problem is that were a lot of people complaining about wanting it. Because we started competitive.
Anyway, we've gotten horribly off track. What were we talking about before?
I don't think this is off track. I think this is very important to understand what you're getting into. 10th edition and 11th edition are built around the competitive scene of Warhammer. Despite them telling you that this is a narrative edition, all the changes they've made are thematic changes and have nothing to do with the actual narrative.
That's fair. I'm really hoping that there's a new campaign thing. There was one in 10th, but it was kind of terrible. My understanding was that it was written very badly.
The new campaign system is going to be complicated. The campaign system itself, Crusade, was pretty good in 10th edition. The campaign books sucked. The campaign books had really bad lore, and a lot of the missions were just recycled competitive missions. 10th edition, that's 10th edition. In 11th edition, they've gotten rid of Crusade. They have now replaced it with a new card deck system to... I don't have really much else to say. I don't know how it's going to play out. I haven't seen anybody use the cards yet. But it does seem weird that they've boiled down the campaign system into cards. The other thing is, I don't really think we need a campaign system. I don't think we need Crusade. The old Badab War and Siege of Frax never had campaign systems. They just had thematic missions you would play through. So it's sort of like the whole thing of like Dawn of War 1 versus Dawn of War 2. Where Dawn of War 1, you didn't really upgrade any of your characters, you just played through the missions as the Space Marines. Versus Dawn of War 2, where you have this sort of tight-knit group of characters that you slowly build up and upgrade as you play the game.
I think I'm going to get crucified for this, but I never played Dawn of War.
That's fine.
Which one?
None of them. I've not played any of them. I've heard
One
that the
and
third one was
two.
terrible.
1 and 2 are good. 3 is terrible. Don't play 3.
I played 3 for about 5 minutes and then I quit because I was like,
You
this
didn't
sucks.
believe me.
I
didn't believe me.
I didn't freaking. No, I was playing it before you told me. The problem is I just stopped and I'm like, I need to go back to it, and you're like, don't, it's shit. I'm like, oh, okay. And I still haven't been back to it.
I'm not sure about 4, but we'll talk about that when it comes out. Let's get to weapon upgrades. This is the thing returning again from 9th edition, much like detachments are. We are not going to get granular point system. Only certain.
I hope not. That's such a pain for new people.
I'm mixed, because when I started, I hated granular points. But now, after seeing what they did with Heresy 3.0 and what they've done with 10, I almost want to go back to it. Because what they've done is now they've removed any ability for personalization. Which is kind of funny, because they're all about theme when it comes to the rules, but now all my personalization have been removed. So something like a Thunderhammer doesn't really do different. So like, for example, let's Space Wolves. They don't have Thunderwolf cavalry that have special weapons. So no matter what you model it with, it doesn't matter. So these choices don't matter because it's just an heirloom weapon.
Yeah, which is
Yeah, and I
shit.
hate that because I'm big into Death Watch, or was for a while, and they changed all of the combi weapons to just one combi weapon profile.
Yeah, and it sucks. And the combi weapon.
There's a bunch of
also,
other stuff where we're just like, nah, we don't need all of this. We're just going to do long vigil melee or a long vigil ranged weapon. It's like, what do you mean?
So the
You
other
mean
thing
every
with the
single
combi
one of
weapons,
these?
the other thing, and this is what I mean by the combi weapons, is they
Are you gonna
removed any
say something?
modeling agency from you, because it doesn't matter if you model with a combi plasma or a combi bolter, because they fire the exact same thing, have the exact same armor penetration, and have the exact same ballistic skill. It's not like I'm not making an active decision. It's all personal choice taken away from the player.
Well, again, you're talking about Thunderwolf Cavalry. That's what pissed me off with Thunderwolf Cavalry. Because what I would do, right, is I would set some of them with Storm Shields and Thunderhammer. Then some of them I'd give Twin Wolf Claws. And it just depends on what I want them to be useful for. Sometimes I'd get a Thunderwolf Cavalry unit that I want them to charge monsters and tanks. Then other times I'd get a Thunderwolf Cavalry unit that I want them to charge hordes, Twin Wolf Claws. It's just... They changed that. Even that changed ages ago, but it seems like they're doing that to every single goddamn unit. And what that means is essentially Space Wolves, Ultramarines, freaking Salamanders. They're all going to be the same goddamn thing outside of their special rules and obviously unique characters. But their intercessors are all going to be the same, which doesn't make thematical sense. Or sense for the game, or sense for personalization. It kind of takes the soul out of Warhammer.
And the other thing with that is that as new kits are coming out these days, you're getting less and less customization options. Like you saw the new Deathwatch kill team, which the old one I think had enough weapons to kit out like 32 guys, and it was a 5-man unit or something like that. So naturally now where it's like, yeah, you get 2 builds for each guy, like it's so much less interesting.
Yeah, sadly.
But also because they're doing that, it makes sense to have.
You just cut out there. Can you repeat what you said?
rule sets where the exact weapons you have.
Is Jay cutting out for anyone but me?
Don't really matter because there
He's
aren't
cutting out.
options anymore for that on the models anyway.
It's they're bringing it back,
Oh,
but
sorry. The new models that
Yeah.
they're making for the most part don't have as many customization options from the get-go on the model. So as time goes on, we're going to have less and less options on the model. Dang it.
Yeah, in other words, firstborn is king.
Anyway, the kits they're making these days they have less customization options in them,
Yep.
which
Yeah, we heard
means
that
that it
part.
doesn't make sense to
heard that
have
part. We
as
heard
many
that
rules
part.
for them. Pardon?
but that's a
We heard
deliberate
that part. We didn't
Jay-
cut out
Hello?
with that.
Jay.
Okay.
That's a deliberate choice by the company. They don't have to do that.
Less customization options in the kit, it doesn't make sense
But Jay, they don't have to do that. Look at Heresy. Heresy.
to represent those in rules, and I think that's part of why a lot of kits aren't getting rules anymore.
I get that, but Jay, they don't have to do that. In Heresy, it's completely different.
Heresy is a totally different game.
No, but I'm
That is
bringing.
not comparing apples to apples.
Yes, it is. Okay, because a Space Marine Tactical Squad, I can buy an upgrade kit and slap on weapons, and they now have different weapons. Are you telling me that they couldn't make that for 40K?
I'm not saying they couldn't. I'm saying they're not, and they probably won't be.
But
until
you just
people
said they're
start
not.
getting bored.
But you just said
and then they'll be
Heresy is
like,
not
"Well,
comparable.
There's more money to be made with upgrade kits. We'll do that.
No, but you just said they're not.
Heresy is not, I don't think, the same type of player base. Like, I think they want different things than what most 40K players want, so I think they will treat us differently.
That's my point. Is a lot of the Heresy players like narrative, and they want narrative, and they have put the GW has pushed those narrative players into Heresy, and then took 40K and focused on the competitive players. So they don't have
which
to do these
makes
things.
sense.
It doesn't make sense that they can't do these things. You can make a game for both narrative and competitive players.
I disagree. I think one of them kind of has to suffer.
The thing that Jay, the thing that made why play Warhammer over other games?
I haven't tried any other systems, so I have no idea.
So the appeal of Warhammer is the universe. It's the setting. It's the story. It's the models. These things set it apart from other games. I promise you now that there is a plethora of other games that are more competitive and better designed than Warhammer. The reason why Warhammer has become so dominant is because of its universe and setting. So why focus on competitive players that are only here for the fads versus the narrative players who are here more dedicated in investing in the universe? Furthermore, clearly we've seen the IP is more valuable than the tabletop game through things like Space Marine 2 and TV shows. Therefore, people who like the universe are more important as a customer base than competitive players.
Yeah, probably, but I think that's a conversation that you would have to have with a shareholder, and we all know that they have money for brains, so...
No, but that's my thing is I don't think you necessarily have to make one competitive or have to make one narrative because we've had basically since the 6th edition, if not earlier, there were tournaments. So people still played competitively even in narrative editions.
Yeah, I don't really know.
But so they're bringing back points for war gear, and the points for war gear is good but bad. Things like your intercessors are not going to have multiple different bolters. You have the one set bolter. But things like Terminator veterans they're going to have to pay an additional 5 points per Thunderhammer to bring. So
Yeah,
maybe
I'm not really here nor there about that. I think
yeah, this is my thing.
like,
Is I think this is the best of both worlds, based on how they have it written. I don't like it, but this is the only way I can think that they could write it that makes it both easier for beginner players and at least has a little flavor for older players.
yeah, I think this is probably a good middle ground, and we'll have to kind of see how it plays when we actually get down to business.
I think it really depends on how much of it they add. Because if they only add it to a handful of units, it's not going to change anything. But if they add it to like every single veteran unit, that would bring a lot of flavor back.
Gentlemen, I have got to go for supper. I will see you at some point. Bye-bye.
Could you hear that?
How? Please
No.
tell me that was you.
What do you mean? What was me?
You were playing with Discord soundboard.
Yes.
I love how Illumination has just been quiet.
Yeah, he's been painting.
Well, he's supposed to be focusing.
Yeah, he is focusing.
0 cents. Yeah, we are going in the weeds, but it's important to go into the weeds to really understand why certain changes are happening. At least that's my opinion. I think it's important to somewhat get into the weeds, because if you're able to discuss and understand the rule enough to get into the weeds, it means you actually can talk about the change competently and trying to understand what this change actually kind of means for moving forward in this edition. Because, like it or not, this is the edition we have to play with. Well, you don't have to, but basically everybody's going to be using it. Like, unless you like if Dusk came over to the US, me and him could probably play an older edition. But meeting a random person at the game store, or if you want to do any events, you're going to have to know 11th edition. So, moving to the next one. This is kind of staying the same, but not. So what happened in 10th edition is that you can only attach one character to one unit. However,
So that's actually a lie.
However, there was exceptions within like banner bearers and a handful of characters. They have now changed that keyword to the support keyword, which means anything that has a support keyword can go into another unit with another character.
Yeah,
So they're
that's a lie.
What do you mean it's a lie?
It's a lie from Games Workshop. They forgot to mention that Space Wolves have been able to do that since 9th edition.
Well, no, this is army wide.
I know, but what I'm saying is
Also,
Space
you
Wolves
didn't
used
you
to be
didn't-
able to do that since 9th edition.
I don't know what you explain, please. What do you mean by that?
Space Wolves have been able to attach two characters to one.
But you didn't have
what?
character attachments in 9th edition.
You did, didn't you? Then 10th edition. I don't care.
That's a 10th edition thing exclusively. And in 10th edition, it was very limited. You could put an ancient with an HQ in a unit, but that was basically it.
No.
I need to mess with Brad. Can you continue rambling for a bit?
What?
I need to go mess with Brad. Can you ramble for a bit?
Red. Yeah. Okay. Rabble. You know what? Give me a second. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna cheat. Where is it?
You can. What do you think about this rule?
God damn it! It doesn't. I wanted it to. Wait, can I put this on repeat? How do I put it? Seriously, you need to watch Battlefield Friends. It's like the best thing ever. It's just so sad because Sniper died in real life. Oh, Illumination, can you come back for a minute?
I've literally just been drawing the entire.
I know,
Oh,
you
no.
fucking piece of shit.
That's what you sound like.
Maybe if your sister loved you, you wouldn't be alone and single.
The fuck?
Yeah, that was kind of the point. It was just meant to be completely, absolutely retarded.
Okay, bro. I mean, if you're into banging your sister, just be honest with us. That's all I'm trying
No,
to
my
say.
sister's dead. I killed her in the womb,
Jesus
technically.
fucking
But
Christ.
technically I didn't because she just came out and I didn't eat her, so it's kind of like complicated. You forget about that, don't you?
A little bit, yeah. That's not really something that I'd willingly like to
I'm a
remember.
twin, I'm a twin, I'm a twin. And she
I
did.
mean, my expertise is more in the lore side of things. I would like to honestly get into the game so I can find a way to
Understand the law.
lower the bar of entry. I know it's like learning chess. You can't really get outside, understanding the basics of the rules. But at the same
Yeah.
time, it's been done before. Gotham chess is proof of that, unfortunately. So I'd
Oh,
like
yeah.
to try.
It's fun enough. You could do it.
Yeah, but it's like I'm listening to you and Alpha, and I'm like, the fuck? I have to listen to the Almighty Games Workshop on every little detail.
Oh, yeah, that's what I just told GW, get fucked. I haven't played a game in ages since I played a game with my girlfriend.
Nice.
And it was fun. It was Assault on Blackreach, 5th edition. I was Orc, she was Space Marines, and somehow I won with a 2% chance of winning on the rolls. It was ridiculous.
All I
I
know
still
is
don't
that
know how I did it.
all I know is that the lore is nothing like the tabletop. I'm gonna be so honest.
Huh?
I was saying the lore is nothing like the tabletop, from what I understand. I've seen one unit tank a shot from an entire fucking squad, so I'm confused.
Yeah, well, that can happen.
Uh,
It just depends on the unit.
I guess.
Like, like if a bunch of Cadians freaking shot their las guns at a freaking Space Marine, there's a whole squad. Space Marine's probably not going to die.
It's fair.
But then again, it also depends on whatchamacallit. Shit.
I don't know. It feels like
I
ever since they
forgot to
fucking
preheat my
monetized
oven.
the Warhammer app. What was that, Alpha?
Forgot to preheat my oven, so now I'm waiting for it to heat up.
Yeah, I'm saying ever since they fucking what's it called? Warhammer 40K, they axed that shit. Now I have
So
to
the
pay
app
money to get the app.
the app did get updated.
I got it before the update, so I don't know if I have to pay to access it if I'm a newcomer. I
No,
was gonna
you do.
suggest that.
So they have free stuff you can, but what you do is you either have to buy a no, it's not even
Codex.
either you have to buy. This is a bullshit thing. So you have to buy Warhammer Plus to get access to the app outside of their free stuff.
Yeah,
On
that's some
top
bullshit.
of that, you have to purchase codexes to get access to your rules in the app.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
It's the biggest.
There's a reason why we tell people to always use Wahapedia and to use New Recruit.
What about Warhammer Encyclopedia?
It doesn't
What
get
about just-
updated very well.
What about just go to the game store and take photos of their fucking preview codex?
I mean, what are you gonna do when they change the rules?
Exactly that.
No, but they don't change the codex.
So they've stopped changing codexes and just started changing the rules randomly online even after you bought the codex.
Yep.
Motherfucker.
So stuff like point changes happen all the time.
It feels more like a job than a hobby at this point.
Genuinely, I was about to say, I don't know why you guys enjoy this game. I mean, at least with the lore, I have an excuse to enjoy it.
Because
Yeah, I enjoy.
I don't play competitively, so I don't play with people that always need the most up to date rules. Like for example, my Hellfire Dreadnought is technically a Legends, so they can easily say no and say no, you can't use that. But they're like, yo, sure, go ahead.
That's fair.
Like it feels like a job when you play by Games Workshop rules.
Yeah, that's yeah.
A big part of the new edition is forced disposition. This is their way of implementing something that I've liked but also hate how they implemented it. The idea is good, but I hate how they implemented it. Back in older editions, oftentimes you would be playing a different objective than your opponent.
Yes.
However, this edition, what you do is you pick a disposition. So, say I'm playing all Phobos. I take the Phobos detachments and then I take a recon forced disposition. And then I'm playing against World Eaters. So, the World Eaters are going to take their detachments and then like a conquering disposition. So, one's going to score points based around recon objectives, and then the other one is going to score points on killing the other people, killing the opponent.
Yeah.
And it's all determined by this forced disposition.
Yeah.
However, they didn't really change how points are scored. You still get 50 primary points and 45 secondary points.
Yeah.
Can we just break down what the fuck a point is at this point?
Yeah, I'm confused.
I
A
was about
victory
to say,
point.
can we genuinely break that shit down?
A victory point.
A victory point. Yeah, okay. See that would
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. So for the unenlightened, can we just explain how the game has, phases where a player plays all the phases of shooting, the warp phase, and then the other. It's not like chess where you do one phase, then the other person does one. It's a confusing structure in my opinion.
So
no, it actually works.
It's confusing the way you just explained it. What it is you have a turn where I go, then you go. What you are talking about in chess is simultaneous, not simultaneous. There's a word for it. And I'm pulling a blank on the word. But games like Grimdark Future, made by One Page Rules, does that where it's like, oh, I move my one unit and then they move their unit. What it is you just take all the actions in your turn and then it passes to the next person. In each person's command phase, which is the start of each turn, they score their victory points for their primaries and secondaries.
Yes.
Bruh.
Any questions?
Nope. I need a coffee. I'm fucked.
So how they're going to determine rules is based, how objectives is based on this forced disposition. It's gonna be interesting. I still don't really like them implementing secondaries. I understand why, because oftentimes when you're playing, like when you send somebody on a mission, they might have multiple missions. But I also feel like they took away secondaries like assassinate, and they took away other secondaries that are more killing based, and I haven't seen them really come back with them.
I think they ever will.
So it kind of removes anything that's not playing around objectives. Speaking of
Yes.
objectives, we are now talking about terrain. They have gotten rid of the round circle terrain objectives and have replaced it with these building objectives. So they're little paper cards or cardboard cards, depending on where you get them. You can put them inside a building to mark the objective area. However, I don't think it really changes the game that much, in my opinion. It does make the game board look less game boardy, and it definitely looks more thematic. But
I want the game board to look game boardy. It's kind of the point.
no, I'm fine with it not looking game boardy. But which would you rather have?
I'm upset. I'm gonna complain. Wow.
Which would you rather have? A piece of cardboard in a building, or would you rather have like a Space Marine model in the center of the board where you have to go, charge up, recover him, and bring him back to your deployment zone?
Yeah, that sounds more fun.
Yeah. So it's not really removing the game boardy aspects. It's just retexturing them under a veneer of narrative.
Yeah.
Because, like, fundamentally speaking, it's not going to really be different. It's not really going to play different. You're still going to have people... I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. You're still going. It still plays like a game board. It's still game boardification of Warhammer, which is, I think, the fundamental disconnect people are having with how the edition was written. Oh, hello, Hi and How. Sorry if I missed you coming in.
So what are your thoughts on a certain German political figure who existed from 1936 to 1945? Sorry.
At the moment, it seems like if he won, it wouldn't have changed anything.
Okay.
What the fuck? I was just gonna say he had a nice fashion sense.
No, well, like, let's be serious.
No. Let's talk about Warhammer. Let's talk about Warhammer. You know the point of the podcast?
You know what?
Circular markers don't exist anymore. This means that plastic 40 millimeter, 3 objective zone model is gone. This is done to preserve the interesting casual play experience. It's an easier transition from home to home tables. The old sets still function, but for competitive play, Games Workshop will only be using the terrain objective markers, which basically means you can still use your old objective markers, but for any official play, you have to use Games Workshop one, which gets into another point. These, if you really want them to work, you have to buy Games Workshop buildings to fit them in them. Which means you have to buy Games Workshop terrain, which is expensive as shit.
Yeah.
And this doesn't fix the issue, because the reason why people complain about the circle objectives is they were complaining every board looked the same. This doesn't really fix it, because every board now has to use Games Workshop terrain.
Yeah.
Zero Paints, yeah, we definitely, because Zero is someone I play Warhammer with. We play fast and loose, and it's way more fun that way. Way more fun. We one of the things I love that we implemented is called a duel system. So essentially, like, you take 2 characters, and if you want, the characters and their units will engage, and all the character units will go 1v1s while their bodyguards are fighting. So it's say you have like an Emperor's Champion versus a Swarm Lord. They're fighting, and the Emperor's Champion will 1v1 the Swarm Lord. And the Swarm Lord doesn't have any bodyguard unit. If he has bodyguard units, they are fighting the Emperor's Champion's bodyguard units. They're not fighting the Emperor's Champion. It's way cooler that way. I'm sorry, it's just way cooler.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So Fast
I've
and Loose is
been
way more fun than very strict Games Workshop play. So tactical objectives is kind of the same but kind of different. Back in ninth edition, they implemented a game mode called Maelstrom, where every turn you played, you'd pull random cards, and those would be your secondary objectives. I personally do not really like that system as standard, but they've made that system standard in 10th edition and they're keeping it in 11th edition. You're going to draw 2 tactical cards in your command phase and keep these cards to you, and you're going to keep them secret until you've scored it, or you're no longer able to score it, and then you discard them and draw 2 more cards.
Yes.
So
I
the
don't
winners here are people who like really mission savvy or have really flexible lists. The losers the people who lose is going to probably be those more niche armies where they're really more like one-trick ponies.
I think I'm lost.
So you're going to be pulling cards at random, which means your secondary objectives are randomized. So you're going to need to
Yes.
build your army to be flexible in case you pull many different objectives, versus something that's very focused and narrowed.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm still confused.
Okay, what's confusing?
I don't know all of it. I understand exactly none of it.
Okay,
When are we gonna start talking about lore? Some of us
question,
are poor as shit.
have any questions or what's not clicking? I can run through it slower.
I
Man.
don't know what I don't know.
Okay, so I'm gonna run through. This is gonna be. Give me 1 second. I'm checking chat. still having supper. We'll be right back. So here is how it works. I'm gonna try to make this as dumbed down for my Australian brethren as possible. A VP is a victory point.
Yes, I know that.
You need to score as many victory points as you can.
Yeah, I know that.
You have primary victory points and secondary victory points.
Yeah.
So your primary points are scored from your force disposition.
Yeah.
Your secondary is pulled from the tactical cards.
Yeah.
The tactical cards are randomized. Your primary is not.
Yeah.
Therefore, armies that can be very flexible are going to be able to run up the scoreboard via secondary points.
Yeah.
Armies
Is
that
that
are
it?
not,
Is that all we're talking about?
yeah,
Yeah, okay, I understand that.
okay. more rules for scoring because they've rewrote a lot of rules based around scoring.
Yeah.
And none of it really changed. It's just clarifying shit. So again, this is why this is easily 10.5. So you are capped at 15 victory points per battle round. For secondaries. You're capped in a certain number of victory points for both secondaries and primaries per turn, and then you have an additional cap of once you hit 45, you can't hit any more secondaries,
Okay.
and once you hit 50 primaries, you can't get any more primaries.
Yeah.
Which to
That
me
makes
is
sense.
dumb.
Yeah, well, yeah, kinda, yeah.
I don't like how they implemented this, but that's how it works. Any questions?
Well, they. No. I
Okay.
can't notice the black guy isn't saying anything.
He never does.
I know. He's scared you're gonna hurt him like you always do.
Of course I'm gonna hurt him.
Dum 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 dum.
I spent last night in bed with him. Of course he's gonna be hurting today.
Oh yeah, see, I told you you should do that illumination.
Is he even in the call?
He's in the call. He's just not responding because he's embarrassed.
Honestly, if I was your friend, I'd be embarrassed too.
Yeah.
You can see where this was meant. You can all see where this was meant to be a script for a PowerPoint that I never got around to making.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is.
So, chapter approved mission deck is coming back. So one of the things they've done with the new rule book is they've removed all the lore, they've removed all the missions in campaign stuff, and they've removed anything that isn't core rules. So all of your stuff is going to have to be purchased additionally through the chapter approved system. Do you know what the chapter approved system is?
It's like the detachments and stuff, isn't it?
No. It has nothing to do with detachments. When I mean purchase, I mean actual money.
Oh, you're freaking kidding me.
So instead of having missions already built into the rulebook that you could just use, you now have to buy all missions.
It's just a money grab at this point, isn't it?
I honestly don't think you need these. Like, these are meant for competitive play, and that's why I said this edition is thematic, not narrative. They've removed all the narrative from the core rulebook, and now they're selling you additional competitive play implements.
Sounds like GW to me.
How the fuck are you tired? It's 10 a.m. over there.
It's 11 a.m.
I need you to keep bitching about GW for a minute.
Fuck GW, fuck you, and fuck Illumination, because he's not talking to me, and it makes me feel upset, and now I'm
Bro, we
sad.
could talk afterwards. You know I know nothing about rules.
Yeah, but I asked you a question, you didn't respond, you know.
Oh
it's
wait.
It's like when I send you a reel and you look at the reel and you don't respond to the reel. You don't even give it a laughy face. You just look at it and leave it.
Oh my God. Okay, all right. I guess I will go fuck myself respectfully.
Good. I'm just teaching you how to handle women.
Again, not into them, but sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, but okay, feminine people.
Okay. All right. Bro thinks I'm
Unless you're going to be the feminine one.
Kill yourself.
Wait, who do we have to fight Zero for? Oh. Can't
Thank
wait
you,
for
Hugo.
in-game ads. Oh, yeah, in-game ads are going to be great. Dude, you know what, Zero? I'm going to implement in-game ads into all my videos. Wait, in-game ads. How can I do that? How can I do that into my videos? That's a good question. I really want to do that.
Add ads to your videos like that.
I can just you just edit it in, but I want to think of how to edit it in, and I'll just grab one of those random ads from freaking like an in-game thing, put it in my video, just piss people off, and then be like, ha, got him. You'd be like, you tried to press the skip button. Skip button isn't here. It's in my video. Ha ha ha. Yeah, but then they'll probably never come back, so that's an issue, right? Yeah. 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 Zero. What do you think about Warhammer brushes?
Zero's an amazing painter.
Oh, God, I could hear that in my fucking soul.
Well, I've come out with my own set of brushes. And yeah, they'll be on sale hopefully mid July. What do you mean? What the heck? I've come out with my own personal set of brushes, and all of them will include, or all the packs bought will include a 3D printed miniature, which will be a surprise. YouTubers being silly, yeah.
My Smirnoff is gone, so I've now replaced
Smirnoff.
it. I've now replaced it with
Smirnoff,
a,
not Smirnoff.
with a Yingling.
Smirnoff.
Well, I don't-
Smirnoff.
I don't care. I now have
What do you mean you
Yingling.
don't care?
I now have
You
Yingling,
don't have... Okay. And
Which
I'm
is-
brain damaged, but this doesn't change anything.
which is the best American beer. Yeah, Zero is an amazing painter. He's a really good painter. You should see his Death Corpse Creek.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah?
he's posted stuff in the Discord.
Yeah, I know, I saw it. I responded to it.
Oh, who's a good boy?
Didn't you see me respond to it? I responded to it before you responded to it.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't pay attention to anything you post in Discord.
Oh, well, that's rude.
Okay, so according to the Games Workshop, and this is why I put the talking point here, the mission system is kind of the arguably biggest philosophical change that they've added. So instead of the game shaping your army's doctrine, your army's supposed to shape the game's doctrine, which is kind of a win for flavor, but it also not only is a balancing risk.
Oh,
I feel like it was, how I phrase this, I was a lot more positive about these rule changes before I kind of have, because I've watched a lot of like battle reports online to prep for teaching everybody here. I was a lot more positive. I think what's going to happen is that in friendly matches, we're going to see a bit more narrative from 11th edition. I think we're not going to see any change in competitive matches. Which, do we really expect them to change competitive matches? Probably not. But the issue there then becomes when you're watching guys like playing tabletop, which are kind of the biggest sort of battle report guys. It's, how do I phrase it? Basically, all the battle report guys on YouTube only do competitive. I haven't seen very many narrative guys. So the phases are staying the same. You still have command, movement, shooting. They got rid of psychic, so your psychic is still the same as it is, where it's basically a psychic gun. The biggest changes they've made is the terrain. I'm trying to just... So, one of the biggest ones is Battle Shock. So, you guys all remember Battle Shock. It's famous. Yeah. Zero probably needs new brushes. Battle Shock has changed. And this is a very important thing. Do you understand the old rules of Battle Shock? Hello? Dusk? Elimination? Well, I guess I'm on my own now. So chat. I'm going to assume you guys understand the old rules of Battle Shock. So basically, it's going to stay kind of the same. You're still going to test it the same way. The difference they've made is the wording and the rules. So now, units that are below half strength or at half strength have to take a Battle Shock test. And to recover from Battle Shock, you have to Battle Shock it out. So you have to test out of it. So say you fail turn 3 and then turn 4 and get out in turn 5. that unit is no longer scoring because you don't score turn 5. At least you didn't. I think you do now in 11th. Was that turn 1? Either way, they can be battle shocked for multiple turns, and they will have the effects of battle shock of not being able to perform actions and not being able to clutch objectives. Now, previously, it didn't really play a lot in the game because a lot of units went to a smaller unit count. For example, Carnifexes went from being a 3-man unit to a 2-man unit. Therefore, if you killed one Carnifex, the other Carnifex was at half strength, and with the old wording, they wouldn't need to take a battle shock test. However, now with the new wording, that would have to take a battle shock test. Therefore, battle shock has now become a lot more relevant within the game, because getting units to half strength is very easy. And it's also half strength congruent. I don't know if congruent's the right word, but it's half strength throughout the whole game. So it's not half strength for that turn. I think everybody understands. Assuming everybody understands. You guys aren't talking to me.
Can I get talking about the lore? Can I get like talking about the lore now? You know, like the actual really cool part of the game. Just kidding. Just kidding. Don't scream at me. Don't scream.
We can talk about that when I'm painting up your chapter master, which will be soon. I'm almost finished with the with the commission for Chaosium.
I don't know. What do you think? I don't like the 11th edition because it just feels like they're doing it more to attract new people into the hobby necessarily than.
I don't think it really matters. I think any
It literally
edition
does.
has its faults. I think 11th edition is better than 10th edition.
Fuck you.
But I still don't think it would change my rankings because I did a tier list a few years ago about which ones. I think 11th is going to be better than 9th. I think 11th is better than 10th. 11th is better than 7th.
No, at least you didn't say it was better than 8th. Otherwise, I
But
would've
8th...
actually-
No, see, 8th edition is still... I think 8th edition still does what 10th edition, 11th edition wants to do, but better. It keeps the narrative flavor while opening it up to a casual player base that would want to play competitive.
That's the issue, though. Most
I
people
think-
don't want to play competitively.
No, but that's my thing, is 10th edition was built as a game in mind. And that's why it's so easy for people to pick it up. And I think 11th edition clarifies a lot of issues of 10th edition and fixes a lot of issues of 10th edition. So I am positive on 11th edition. I think there's certain editions people come back to play. I think those editions are 2nd edition, 4th edition, 8th edition, and 10th edition. I don't think people will come back and play 10th edition. I think everybody's going to move to 11th edition, and it's going to be one of those editions that people don't really come back and play. Because 11th edition is flat out just better than 10th edition.
If you get touched by an older woman for such heresy.
But, and here's a big but, I don't think it's one of their better editions. I think this is still kind of a C tier edition. And it's for systems like this. They really want Battle Shock to be important. They want Battle Shock to replace leadership. But I don't know if leadership is the way they want it to work.
I just wish they made the game less. Instead of trying to bring in new people, I just wish they would prioritize making the game more fun.
Well, no, that's
the whole reason I never got into the tabletop. I just stuck with the fucking books because it's like, what do you mean I have to read a new codex every time GW drops new lore? Like they're just like the dictator. Respectfully.
Well, you don't like the new Grey Knights lore?
Okay. Let's not even get into that, please.
The new Custodes lore?
Not quite my
No,
tempo. Not quite
I
my
s-
tempo.
I still find-
Let's just say that.
I find tabletop to be very fun, but I think it's depending on who you play with. The people I play with are super awesome, super friendly, and I'm friends with them in real life.
Yeah, that's the issue. The times I do actually have people to play with IRL, it just becomes a grind, and maybe that's just a skill issue on my part, but I feel like there should be some way to substitute.
Where does it
I
become a
guess-
grind for you?
Constantly trying to just keep up with the new fucking changes.
You don't have to.
Yeah, but I thought I have to. Like, it's like, if you get an update to, stay relevant, you have to.
You do and you don't. You don't have to follow every FAQ they put out. Most people can't keep up with them. What I tell people to do is buy the core rules, buy your one codex, finish one army, learn that army like it's the back of your hand. And when you learn that army, you've also learned the game while playing them, and then you can expand to other armies. I think a lot of the issues we have, especially within Warhammer, is like when you buy starter sets, you get 2 armies, and the 2 armies play completely different. We really don't need the versus box system anymore. Like the heresy system where they're all Space Marines would be good. The issue then is everybody would be playing Space Marines.
Unfortunate. I don't know. I'm not really big into the tabletop because of all the fuck-ass changes they just kept adding.
I just took the best shit of all time.
Literally, I got into it by printing out the minis via cardboard and then playing with that. That's how I got into it because I was a broke boy. But
Well,
now
you
you're
know what?
telling me,
On Tuesday, I'm buying an FDM printer, and I can print you a whole army if you want.
Ironhead Space Marine Army.
Why would you want an
Yes.
FDM
The Iron
printed
Father?
one? Why?
Because it's cheaper, and he's never going to paint it anyway.
Okay.
Okay,
you do have a
resin is
point.
better for details.
Yeah, he doesn't want details. He just wants models he can throw on the board that are cheap and don't break really easily.
Resin
And
details
also
are
kind of
cheap.
look nice. Just a little look nice. Just a little.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Illumination, you do your thing. I have the commission you wanted from me. You've seen my work. That's resin, not filament.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man. I just wish there was like one YouTube video that could easily break this shit down like it's a fucking gym tutorial did.
You mean?
But alas, I think that's just what the way the game is structured.
You mean
where
like
it's
I'm
like,
doing right
okay.
here, where I'm breaking down everything?
Yeah, to be fair, a live stream is different from a video. You know what the fuck I meant. Leave me
Well,
alone.
no, this is gonna be clipped into a video because we're gonna cut out all the little talk and side talk we have, and I'm just gonna cut to the rules and the important
Okay.
information to the rules.
Also, my homeboy gay.
Fuck you.
Nice.
Don't be Zero who has 3 armies.
I have like
0.
12.
Don't be me. I have Dark Angels, Minotaurs, Ultramarines. My brother gave me his Custodes armies after the change. He fucking hates Custodes. I can barely get him to play Warhammer anymore. Tyranids, Chaos Guard, Chaos Black Legion, Chaos Death Guard, Chaos Wordbearers. And then I think I have 2 kill teams that I have to finish.
Man, that's not even close to what I've got.
You have way more than you
I
have
don't
more
think.
than yeah. You have, if I remember, you have more than me.
Yeah, but a lot of it is Gunpla, and so it doesn't really count.
I would still
Kind
count
of.
it. I would count it in a pile of shame.
Okay, so I entered this gift exchange for Christmas the one year with some people on a Discord server, and the limit was $60. So I was expecting to get $60 worth of stuff. and then I got like $300 worth of stuff because the person gifting to me happened to be the owner of a store, and so just like grabbed every single thing that was on my wish list, which I was not expecting. So I did not buy most of that. It just happened upon me.
See, I have a story that's similar to that. One of my friends, he moved to another country, a very famous country that I will not specify its name to, and funnily enough, we're no longer friends. But before he left, he gave me all of his unbuilt miniatures. To be fair, half the boxes were already open. So, like, for example, I recently found some scout bikers, and I found 2 scout bikers in the box, and he had used 1 scout biker from that box.
That's silly.
So I've been trying to work how to use a bunch of those, but I have a bunch of those where I'm like, oh, here's this box of like 7 intercessors. I will be right back.
Epstein. So, Dusk, how's your day been? Fuck myself.
No. I was just.
I thought you were
wasn't
still
sure.
angry at me. Like, goddamn. Like, just
For
say
what?
it, bro.
I'm not angry at you. Yeah, it's just freaking. Yeah, I woke up to a freaking call, Discord call, and I was like, oh man, I'm fucked. And then I got up and made myself coffee and got changed and realized I had no underwear, so I had to find one that actually fit. And I was like, okay, cool. And then yeah, I'm here now, having my second coffee after taking the best shit of all time.
That is the way to start the morning, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Never understood the hype of coffee, honestly.
It's because you're black.
Fuck
Dang.
off.
What? I'm being serious. I've never once in my life met a black guy who is
My
into
fucking
coffee.
mother is addicted to coffee, so I'm not sure where you're getting that from.
Stop. Black guy, not black girl, black woman, black guy. Are you a black woman?
Bro.
Exactly. Just zip it.
I've spent most of the day trying to teach someone how to paint non-metallic metal.
Yeah.
It is his second time painting a model,
Yeah.
so we're having a blast. It's great.
See, non-metallic metal isn't as hard as people make it out to be. It's
really
only when
isn't.
it's only when you get into the freaking like, say I do non-metallic metal with 3 different colors or 3 different, shades, whatever the hell you want to call it. But then there's doing non-metallic metal where you want to get into nitty-gritty and you have to do the shades in between shades, in between shades, in between shades with extra highlights up to a white highlight, and it's just like, goddamn, that takes forever, and that's difficult. But the 3 layers with non-metallic metal, easy as piss.
Why are you abusing people by doing non-metallic metal?
We're not.
Because it's the best way to learn how to paint light.
It's the best way to learn
I'm also
to
teaching
paint.
him
So
volumetric highlighting.
We shouldn't talk
that's
about
how you
this
teach
because we're
someone
getting
the
in the
layer.
weeds again. We're getting in the weeds. We'll talk about
We
we'll
were
talk
killing
about
time while
this
you were gone.
about painting when we talk about a painting stream. I disagree with that, but that's because I have a fundamental argument against how we think of light. Because a lot of, like, for example, military equipment isn't as reflective as everybody wants to make it out to be.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's not the
but when
point.
we've seen, like, in Space Marine 2, for instance, that's, like, canonically what a lot of this stuff looks like.
It
If we're
is
going
and it
for
isn't.
that,
That's a lot of
and
the
for the
modern
aesthetic-
depictions. That's a lot of the modern depictions.
Okay,
I
sure.
have a bunch of older depictions where they're depicted with more military style armor. And in that military style armor, it operates more like actual military paint. But let's
Focal points.
Fair
let's
enough.
talk.
But I agree, we're getting into the
Let's
weeds.
well, no, that's just off topic. We're here to talk about rules. We'll talk about painting. We'll
Yeah,
do
well, you
painting
weren't
next
here. We'll
episode.
wait for you to get back.
We'll talk about painting next episode. How does that sound, everyone?
I cannot guarantee I'll be here, but I will try.
Yeah.
Ah!
Okay, so they have now changed cover back to my preferred system. So back in 8th and 9th, when you were behind cover, it would be a -1 to the opponent's ballistic skill, instead of a +1 to your armor save. In 10th edition, it was a +1 to your armor save. Now they've gone back to a -1 ballistic skill, which has gone from basically you rolling on a 50% chance to succeed to a 66.7% chance to succeed. No way, I got it flipped. So it went from a hit rate being 66.7% to 50%, which buffs your livability because people are less likely to hit you well in cover. Right? It makes sense to everyone?
Yes, which makes sense with the buffs to otherwise the buffs to or sorry, no, I was going to say the buffs to shooting, but it's not. That's the other way around.
Yeah, this
That's
is
part of the nerfs to shooting.
Yeah, this is one of the things what I mean is there's going to become massive nerfs to shooting armies, and this is one of them. Now, to be fair, your whole unit has to be in cover. It can't just be one person. The whole thing has to be in cover now. But that's
Which
kind
I like
of how.
that change.
But that's kind of how
It seems
everybody.
very all or nothing now.
That's kind of how everybody I knew used to play it.
And it makes sense to change it to whatever people are inclined to actually do instead of.
Well, it's kind of
whatever
like the
the
fast
rules happen to
rolling
be at the
rules
time.
which we'll get to later. That was their big hype point of fast rolling is now a thing. Most people I know just
It's always
did it.
been a thing. That's why
Yeah,
there's already a term for it.
The people already did that. But like for example, say I put, and this next rule is going to come into play here soon. Take Space Marine incursors, put them in cover, and you don't move them for the game. Well, orc shooting now goes from a 4-up ballistic skill to a 5-up ballistic skill, and now if you don't move them, you're going to get the new hidden rule, which means somebody who is within 15 inches can shoot you, but that's it. This kind of also takes away a lot of flexibility, in my opinion. We're going to see a lot less alpha strikes and a lot more melee.
Which I'm personally fond of because alpha strikes are super unintuitive to most people.
I love alpha strikes because they aren't used a lot. I love the idea of like having a whole Blood Angels army, all of them in drop pods, turn one, dropping all those drop pods on my opponent.
Yeah, and I personally like this change because when I was building out this Salamanders army, I was like, okay, I need something to hold my backline objective. And there's not too many things that you can use for that. Like, it's pretty much either intercessors and then you walk them up afterwards, infiltrators, which is what I did, and scouts because they're just cheap and they just sit there. But infiltrators is great for this because Phobos units are notorious for being hard to shoot at when they don't want to be shot at.
You could use a servo. You can use a servo.
A servitor?
Yeah.
That is an option, I guess. It's a terrible option. I don't like it, but I guess it's there. Or any Imperial ally. Actually, no, I think they did a good job of making sure that all the Imperial allies were so expensive that you couldn't actually use anything from the Agent's Codex for stuff like that. Like, not even Assassin. Good for that.
See a zero. I would love you can just DM me over Instagram what you think, because you're coming from a very different place than me. I'm coming from having played since 8th edition, and that's why I'm very interested in hearing every person's opinion, because I feel like sometimes I can be a very grisly old man of going, it's not the same as it was. Get off my
You do
lawn.
come across that way from time to time, but I think it's based into epic behavior.
Well, usually I try to like make it not unfounded. Usually it's like, oh, I think this system that they've already created was better than the other one. Hidden, I kind of like and I kind of don't like. I feel like I would rather have them added like buffs to infiltration units than game wide hidden rules.
I think it actually makes a lot of sense for new people because then you won't have as many issues with just getting shot off the board in turn one.
Yeah,
Which I think what would solve that better is just having like some sort of mention of the idea that like if you know that the game's lost at turn one and you're not going to have any fun after this, you can just say that. Like most opponents will be like, okay, we can just reset and try a different deployment.
The other thing is they now have much more dense terrain on the board.
Yes.
Which is also this is what I mean. So you've hit shooting with the nerf of ballistic skill. You've now hit them with more terrain on the board, and now you've hit them with hidden.
I think it's really funny when you compare to Age of Sigmar boards because they are notorious for having like a rock and that's it. So it's really weird when you look at 40k terrain and you're like, yeah, we have to block off all of this. Otherwise, shooting is too good in this game.
Here's my counter argument. What is Age of Sigmar? Age of Sigmar fundamentally is a fantasy setting, which therefore means medieval tactics, right?
Right. So it's mostly swords and not a lot of shooting. I agree. Like it makes sense to do it that way for that game. And
why
game.
have you nerfed shooting so hard when shooting really should be the primary form of combat in this game?
Well, realistically, it should be, but Warhammer's not realistic.
No, it's not even a realistic in lore. In lore, that's how it is.
And if you want to play that way, there's Horus Heresy.
Well, no, because Horus Heresy has the same issue.
But I mean, I haven't played a lot of Horus Heresy, or any for that matter. But
I love how you're speaking from this like authority.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have played one game of 9th edition, and it didn't have properly updated rules, and that's all I know. And I watch a lot.
Oh, that's what Heresy is for. The issue with Heresy is everybody has armor in Heresy. So, despite having shooting blocks, pretty much if you're playing, you have to remember you do have Auxilla, and you have Mechanicus, but other than besides that, you don't really have anything that isn't heavily armored in Heresy.
I guess that's fair. It's all tanks parking lot.
Yeah, no, like unironically, Terminators are fucking ridiculously strong in Heresy. And they're not very good in 40k because they're overcosted. So this is what I just think that they're hitting shooting a bit too hard. I don't think there was any need for it to be hit.
That's probably
hard.
Something that they'll be able to tweak later. If they don't like it, they can change the hidden rule a little bit, or they can change the terrain layouts potentially.
Yeah, but I'm not judging it on later. I'm judging it on now.
Yeah, right now I agree. I think shooting's going to be... Mind you, I think it might be good to have a bit of a shift that direction.
But we've already had that shift. We've already had that shift. Like I know everybody and their mother in Valrak has always said, "Oh, I always hate the turn one big explosion." First of all, that's been a thing for every edition. It's probably not going to change this edition. Secondly, I had more issues this edition dealing with melee than I ever did shooting. There's so many times by turn 2 I have shit up in my face already, like in my front lines, because of how fast shit moves in this game.
That's fair. I do think they also changed board sizes at some point, if I'm not mistaken.
They did.
And that made a huge impact on that as well, because there was just less no man's land.
Well, no. What they did is now 1,000 points has a table, 2,000 points has a different size table, and 3,000 points has a different size table.
That's silly.
And they got rid of 500-point games.
which is fair because it was always broken. They
I
never
per-
balanced that correctly.
so they did and they didn't. I personally loved boarding actions, and I think boarding actions balanced it because boarding
That's very
actions.
interesting because I feel like nobody played that ever.
Oh no, everybody played it after it was dead. Everybody I know didn't play it during the end of 9th edition. They all played it at the beginning of 10th edition, and they're like, you know what? This is actually some good shit. Because it's close corridors. It uses logical rules, so you have to open doors. You can't shoot around corners. You couldn't like string your guys along. It fixed a lot of the issues people complained about. But my whole point against shooting is this. Well, it does have medieval motifs, and you still do have like big broadswords as a way of fighting. The primary method we see in most lore is shooting. I mean, unless you get swarmed in Space Marine 2, what's the primary way you deal? Like, the primary way you deal with the Thousand Suns? You shoot at them.
That's fair. As
The-
a certified Hellblaster player, that's fair.
Like most things, you shoot at it. It's melee is definitely a thing, and they should add it. But I don't think they should prioritize melee over shooting. And that's what I think they've done here, is they've seen people take hard hits in turn 1, and they've gone, oh, how do we fix it? And now they've just nerfed the whole thing.
I do also fear that this is kind of like, this might be a bit of a tangent, but Wargaming, when they've been updating World of Tanks, has slowly and surely made the game more and more beginner friendly in ways where like new people can't get just like absolutely slaughtered just because they don't know how to play the game. And I think pandering to the people who know the least about the game reduces the skill ceiling. And that's what happened in that game, and I'm a little bit afraid that even though this is kind of an unrelated game, I feel like that might be slowly happening.
Brother, that isn't
What?
slowly happening. That's already happened.
Yeah,
What-
but like not to such a drastic extent
What
as like
do you
I don't know
think?
if you
What
know
do you
anything
think?
about World.
10th edition, the primary focus of 10th edition was. They
Yeah,
literally
I
said
understand that happened, and it
they
is
said the
still
game
happening,
was
but
going
it's
to be simplified,
I
and they
think-
simplified it.
Yes, and I think it could be much more severe than that in the future, depending on where they go with it. But hopefully, I think this is probably not so extreme, but it does seem like it's generally helping new people, which, as someone who is, I guess, kind of new, that's perhaps not the worst thing in the world. So, I don't know.
I'm gonna skip this. It hasn't changed that much from 10th edition. Obscuring has a slight rewording. It's to make more varied terrain types in tournaments, which doesn't really make sense.
What do you mean? You didn't like your L-shaped ruins on top of your L-shaped ruins with some L-shaped ruins on the side?
Well, no. So they're arguing that they're gonna bring in a whole bunch of now different terrain into tournaments. So they rewrote the obscuring rule to increase the value of the footprint, and have more play with like upper decks and other stuff like that. However, to get these bonuses, like I said, for the -1 against your enemy's ballistic skill, you have to be wholly within the terrain.
Yes. Which I think is going to be difficult for a lot of
Yes.
units, unless... I mean, I haven't really seen the new terrain layouts very well, so maybe it is fairly easy to get fully within, but it seems like it's going to be quite difficult.
Like we talked about, terrain markers are changing. Plunging
I think
fire.
I'm going to actually be able to print my own, and I think it'll be fantastic.
So you are allowed to print your own. They have them on PDF, but like I talked about earlier, is they're designed specifically to fit within the Games Workshop official terrain.
Which is not probably the biggest of deals. Like if you're playing casually, I think
It is-
anything that is around about the correct dimensions is probably fine. Like if
It is a big deal because it's basically saying you now have to buy a terrain from Games Workshop if you want to use these properly.
Yeah, I guess, but in most like tournament settings, they're probably gonna find some sort of workaround. There'll be
It depends on the level of tournament.
yeah, and I'm not really worried about competitive play, so I think casually this changes absolutely nothing. So I think we're still big chillin'.
I think
Out
it's
here
a
in
pointless
casual land.
change from a casual perspective. I don't think it really changes gameplay. Now all we've done is move those circle objectives into buildings.
Which I like because it doesn't make sense to be fighting over just some open, undefendable ground. Like that's not how real life battle zones work at all.
Depends. Well,
And it
first of all, they do. There's a plethora of
Do
examples.
they though?
Yeah.
I think it'd be far more common for the objective to be somewhere or
I'm
someone
not saying no.
inside
I'm
the
not. I'm not saying. I'm not saying it isn't. What I'm saying is it would be far more common to be in a building, but to say there is no example where they would be out in an open field is not true.
Okay, sure. Maybe that's a bit of an extreme, but
However,
I still think
like
that
like
having...
like which would you rather fight over? Like I posed this question to our favorite Australian earlier. Would you rather play over an objective where, say, you have a downed spaceship in the center, and you have to go to the spaceship, pick up a dead Marine, and bring him back? Or would you rather fight over a piece of cardboard?
That would be the issue with the pieces of cardboard, is that there's just not that many types of objectives. They're all ruins of some variety.
No, but yeah, that's what I
But
mean.
I think you can still work within that.
No, I'm not saying you can't work within it, but what I'm saying is that they're geared towards Workshop terrain, which is just basically L-shaped ruins again. Like for example, the cards. If you buy the cards from Games Workshop, they only have an Armageddon theme, which means they only have the sort of dust desert theme.
Right.
So all these changes are pointless.
Yes. I wonder what it would take for us to make our own terrain pack of those, but with something else on the...
Because, for example...
'Cause I have access to an industrial printer.
I don't know. It'd be cool. We'll talk about it in DMs.
Okay.
I have no clue my co-hosts are even here.
Were they ever?
No, I'm just listening.
You don't want
I
to...
got-
We just left.
Well, when you've got nothing to add, it's like just listen. That's what we do. You know,
mean, the Iron
it's
Man
like if I'm watching my girlfriend peg another guy, I'm not gonna join in.
Okay.
I'm just gonna watch.
Why?
Why does conversation
Why?
do this whenever
Okay.
Dusk is here? Never
Because
mind. We
that-
should go back to just being quiet. It would
That,
be okay.
that right there, not quite my tempo, King. Like
No,
you-
but
you
it's
were
the
doing
same.
so
It's
good.
the same kind of thing. If I've got nothing to put into it, why would I put anything into it? Just watch.
Okay, we both know what you meant when you said put it into it.
Okay.
That is a
Alpha,
clip
please
right
save
there.
us.
Okay. First of all, I'm eating my cheese quesadilla. I'm eating my cheese quesadilla because I'm on my third beer and I'm starting to feel it. And we still have like 25 pages to go. Plunging fire. That's changed. Did you guys ever understand how it worked previously?
Nope.
So how
I think it only applied to like Titans mostly, didn't it?
Yes.
Or was it
Yes,
second
yes.
floor of buildings thing.
That's the new one. That's the new one. So how it used to work is anything that was like taller than the other thing and shooting down, we get like a bonus to their ballistic skill.
Okay.
Now what they've done is anything elevated 3 inches up gets plunging fire. And anything that has a ballistic skill, not as a ballistic skill, anything that has the keyword Titanicus has it. Now here's my complaint.
Okay.
Why the fuck do flyers not have plunging?
Oh, that would make a lot of sense. And also, it's because GW hates planes.
Well, it's not just planes. There's a bunch of units that fly. I mean, your land speeder. Land speeders fly.
Was it in 9th edition, I want to say, that Fly got super busted?
I think so, yeah.
I think we're still paying for that, where they're like, they don't want to accidentally do that again. And 10th was like that too, where like anything flying was just super useless.
Yeah. Well, the only thing that
been
was
that way for a
really
minute.
the only really useful thing that's good flying was the land speeders, because the land speeders had hover, so you could hover them.
Yeah, hover was a godsend for some stuff. I am quite excited about the new land speeder. Or the
It
land
definitely
speeder, or
the new land speeder definitely looks better, but I didn't really feel like we needed one, as we just got a refresh. I would have rather had them refresh like a Predator, especially
or do
since
bikes that float.
I hate that idea, but that's because I'm a Dark Angels player. So the reason why I hate it is you know Samael, right?
Is that the floaty guy on the bike with the giant ass cape?
Yes, so he's the commander of the Raven Wing, and according to lore, he should be the only one left in the Imperium that has jet bike.
That seems
Now-
silly. Let
now
the
the
rest of my boys fly.
Now the Custodes, I can see them having it because they have the Volta Terra, but I hate the tanks having it. I hate everyone else that has it.
I feel like that's old lore that I could see being retconned, and I would just be okay with that. For the
I would
sake
hate
of
it. Well, no, you're
letting
okay
everyone
with
else-
it because it doesn't affect your army. Which I find a lot of people are like that, and it annoys me because they're like, oh, I'm fine with this change because it doesn't affect me. It doesn't mean it's a good change.
I still think more people having access to floaty bikes would be sick, but yeah.
Well, thinking it's sick and making sense in lore are two different things. Okay.
Just make the lore sick with retcons, and it will be awesome.
Oh yeah, because retcons have always been good.
Yes, every single time.
There's never been a bad retcon.
Yes, especially when you try to gaslight the community into thinking that it was always that way.
Oh, I was thinking
Female
that
custodians.
I wasn't even going there. I was going Grey Knights.
Oh yeah, that's abysmal too.
We have
That
a
one doesn't
whole
even make sense.
we have a whole trilogy about what the Terminus Decree could be. We give you 3 different solutions, and instead of like any of those, we say fuck it, we ball and just retcon that shit into one that doesn't make sense. And the only person that would be able to have read it is Caldor Drago. So therefore, you can't even chalk it up to like a mistranslation or a misremembrance. Because only one person has read it. Therefore, you can't go, oh, unreliable narrator, which is fucking bullshit. Because you can't add unreliable narrators in certain books. Like, the only time an unreliable narrator works is when either the character is a first-person perspective or they're recounting the story.
But in that case, it was like a lore addendum on the side of like a codex. Goodness, words.
Well, no. What I'm talking about is like people like Luton, who have for years argued that canon doesn't matter, that nothing is true, got massively butthurt when this change came out because it didn't make sense. And people for years were telling Luton, lore is a thing, canon matters. You just can't go unreliable narrator on everything because it doesn't make sense.
Okay, but if they just straight up retconned and they were like, yeah, we're changing it. We didn't like the way it was. We want to make more
like they
floaty
did with the
bikes," I'd be
Custodes?
cool with that.
You mean like they did with the Custodes?
No, that was different because they were like, nah, it was always this way. What do you mean? And it just clearly was not that
So
way.
you're telling me they wouldn't just go, oh, Call just invented a new piece of technology. Makes sense. You know, Call can invent anything.
That is a convenient plot device sometimes, but what are you gonna do?
I think we should get back to talking about rules, because there's a hell of a lot more rules
Yes.
we need to get through. So,
Okay, something about plunging fire.
we all know, well, past plunging fire. We are now into ingress distance. Do you understand what ingress is?
I never did. I know it has to do with Alpha Strike. That's about it.
Not Alpha Strike, Deep Strike.
Yeah, potato,
Alpha-
potato.
No, they're completely different. Alpha Strike is attacking turn 1.
No. Potatoes and potatoes are literally exactly the same thing.
That is what I said.
And you're
Yes,
wrong, Jay.
Potatoes
You're wrong,
and
Jay.
potatoes are the same thing.
These are not the same
Potatoes
thing.
and potatoes are the same thing.
But we're not talking about
We know it.
potatoes.
Potato is a potato.
I-
And what are we
I-
talking about?
We're talking about Alpha
Just
Strike
relax.
versus Deep Strike.
Oh, okay, yeah, whatever. Move on.
Alpha Strike is attacking turn 1. Deep Strike is pulling your guys either from the Teleportarium or Strategic Reserve on turn 2 onwards. Two different things.
Okay, my idea of what an Alpha Strike is less specific than yours, I guess.
No, Alpha
But
Strike
that
is
probably makes sense
specific
because
to
mine is
turn
probably
1.
just wrong.
Alpha Strike is specific
Okay.
to turn 1.
But do continue.
So what they have is they've now kind of changed how it worked. So now how me and Zero have always played it is we've always played the 2-inch engagement range, which is what it was in 9th edition. Apparently that's not how 10th edition worked, despite the fact that everybody I know played it that way. Now you have a 2-inch engagement range. However, to charge someone, you no longer can have the 2-inch engagement range. You have to charge all the way base to base.
That's probably
Therefore,
the biggest nerf to melee yet.
you now can deploy within 8 inches instead of 9 inches.
I don't know if that... Wait, so you're telling me only things that are base to base can fight?
No.
that
So
how
what
that
it is to make a charge, you have to make a charge all the way in base to base. But anything within the 2 inches of those bases touching can fight.
Okay. I'm following. That seems like just a mostly confusing change. It probably won't change like a whole lot of anything, but just be annoying, I guess.
The thing is, it's a buff and a nerf. Charges are now going to be a lot easier to make from rapid ingress or deep strike. Because they're only in 8 inches away. However, because, and this is what I have with area of pi on my sheet here, because the radius is now 2 inches, that's less area to fight in. Thus, you effectively still need a 9+ to charge. So why the fuck this is even like spelled out, I don't know, but so how it is if you're charging something with like a 40mm base, it's gonna be super easy to get in combat with. Anything smaller, you're now less likely to get in combat with them off of rapid ingress. But that doesn't affect shooting, and since it's within 8 to 9 inches, hidden doesn't apply. So be ready for like deep striking Meltas.
Heck yeah. I'm so hyped. I need eradicators in my life, but I can't get them because they're part of the
So-
Honored of the Chapter sprues,
So
which
you want to hear?
drives me insane.
You want to hear how I'm getting them?
Please tell me that you're just straight up stealing them.
Kind of. So you know my Dark Angels are modeled after 5th edition, right?
Yes.
Gravis doesn't exist in 5th edition. Therefore, I couldn't use Gravis units. So I may or may not have bought a Devastator squad, taken the heavy bolters off the Devastator squad, and slapped them on intercessors, put them on 40mm bases, and I'm doing
Sorry,
the
no,
same.
I mean
I'm doing
I
the
meant
same
old
with.
eradicators with Meltas.
I'm doing the same with Meltas. In the
Are there any
Devastator-
Meltas in the
Yeah.
Devastator kit?
Yeah, it comes with 2 Meltas. So just have like 2
Hang on.
Meltas and then maybe like
One
a
minute, I
Lasgun or
gotta go
something.
grab this sprue and check this out because I don't believe you. I could have sworn it
promise.
was just
I
plasma.
promise. The shit, the shit
Grav,
the shit
heavy
you can
bolter,
do. Well, you also have like
Lasgun.
las guns, and you can put those on because effectively they're similar. It
Hey,
should
one minute
have
here.
it should have Melta unless you've used it because I have the sprue next to me. I'm working on the video. So while he's gone, as much as I want to teach everybody, we have a lot of shit to get through, and I just want to get through it. So indirect fire has changed. Indirect fire is no longer as strong as it is, even after they've already nerfed it. So they've nerfed it already in 10th edition. They're nerfing it again. Now you effectively only hit on 6 without a spotter. To hit on a 5 or a 4, you have to have a spotter, and that will give you your bonuses. So basically, they're continuing to make indirect fire fucking dog shit for some
Let me
reason.
put on headphones. I can't hear anything.
For some reason, they keep on nerfing indirect fire. And I think it's just so they don't have people getting shot off the board turn run. But I think it's kind of bullshit to make it like this little effective to essentially make it to Overwatch skills of only being able to hit in 6 unless you have a spotter.
Okay, I have the bolters from the Inceptor kit, which I could use to make the bolter ones, actually, if I wanted to. That would probably be good enough.
Look at
Leftovers from that.
so I have I have the sprue right here.
And I'm also holding it, I think. It's in here somewhere. Aha! Devastator's bits. There's a las cannon. There's a bazooka. There's a heavy bolter. Oh, you're right. There is a Melta in here.
Yeah, so
Dude, that's sick.
what I've
I just need one more, I think. Hang on.
Well, so you
See
can
if I have
buy
enough parts
you can
to
buy
build
multiple Meltas, or you just give like another like you give 2 of the guys in the unit Meltas and then give one of them Grav, because Grav is basically no longer a thing. So you can just call it like a super hyped up Melta. And
Or I
then
could
what?
stick a plasma gun, but I want to save them for Hellblasters.
Well, so what it is, I bought a whole bunch of Devastators, and all my Hellblasters are the plasma cannons. All the Nerf gun Marines got bazookas, and all my Eradicators are gonna get Meltas, and heavy bolters. I was going to save the Meltas for Heresy, but I'm not working in that army anytime soon, so I'm just gonna buy some more Meltas or 3D print them when I get there.
Dude, you're so right. I need so many more Devastator kits. I need 5 Devastator kits like right now so I can kit bash all this crap I don't want to buy.
Dude, I need as many Devastator kits to get my hand on. I don't know what I'm gonna do when they discontinue the Devastators.
Have they not done that already?
No,
Sick. I'm gonna go.
they just keep
secondhand,
raising the
probably,
price of
but
a 30-year-old model.
that is driving me a little bit crazy. They keep doing that.
Heavy. I'm trying to speed through this. Heavy works exactly the same as it used to. However, you can now like move 3 inches without taking the penalty.
Which is great because otherwise heavy units are like
Well, so
low key useless.
the other thing is, if I remember right, the vehicles don't have the heavy keyword applying to them.
Which makes sense because why?
Yeah. Psychic keyword works exactly the same. Can't be affected by wound modifiers. Shoots through cover. But it doesn't do anything fucking cool. It's just magic gun.
At least it's not a downside anymore. At least I don't think.
It is
Before
because,
it was just straight up a downside.
well, so for example, when I was playing Death Guard in 9th edition, I used to be able to use my Psyker to buff units, and now I can't. Like, there's not really anything that sets Psychic apart except for it being a magic gun. And then depending on who you talk to, I need an official rules guy on this one. I don't know if you can actually use your Psychic power and shoot in the same turn.
I thought they usually also got the pistol keyword, Or-
Hazard
like for melee at least.
Hazard is been rewritten. Now, anyone to take a hazard on a 1 or a 2 will take 3. Sorry, I'm a bit drunk and I'm dyslexic, so I'm struggling to read my own notes. Hazard basically didn't change.
I thought it used to be on a 1.
Yeah, it's now a 1 or a 2.
That doubles the odds that you blow yourself up. That's kind
Yep.
of significant.
Yep. God forbid we have anything cool. Free pivot, I think, is completely fucking stupid. Basically, it's the same thing as we always had. You now can turn vehicles in really weird directions, which I've never really liked, but that's because I'm a fucking LARPer, and I would love to, I love to force people to actually, turn their vehicles how a vehicle would turn. You ever see those diagrams in, the first edition for, turning radius?
Okay, but first edition. Have you played first edition? I
Yeah.
haven't, but I have seen
Yes.
people play it,
Yes.
and the vehicle rules are horribly complicated.
Yeah, I love it. It's dumb. I know. This is not me saying that we should go back to those are not good rules. I just like realistic gameplay sometimes, and that's very realistic gameplay.
I have World of Tanks for
I don't
realistic
have a
gameplay.
tank. I don't have a tank that somehow turns around and does a 360 in the same location as it was.
But if it's a floaty tank, then it makes sense.
Yeah, because
I would like to think that floaty tanks have no resistance at all, so if you just walked up to it and pushed it, it would just start spinning.
They can float over water, which is why I don't like floaty tanks. I think there's something cool about the industrial brutalism of tracks.
I agree.
Flying.
But also floaty tanks are cool.
Flying has gotten fucking nerfed like usual. So here's the thing.
Because why wouldn't they?
Here's the thing. Is you now have a 2-inch penalty going through terrain. How it used to
Which
work
doesn't make
is-
sense because you were supposed to fly over it.
Yeah, well, that's what they say is because you fly over it, you have a 2-inch penalty. And it's a flat 2-inch. In 10th edition, it wasn't a flat 2-inch. However, it now is a flat 2-inch to every unit in the game that has fly. No matter what it is. So, for example, some of your gear, like a lot of the Mechanicus, in lore fly super high up in the atmosphere and dip down and then go back up. Why the fuck would that be affected by terrain?
Yeah, that one doesn't really check out. But I guess for the sake of the way that the game's usually played, I think that maybe makes kind of sense.
Coherency has changed.
I don't know.
Coherency has changed. You now have to be within coherency all holistically within 9 inches. And remain within 2 inches together. As someone who is a Horde player who didn't game the system, I fucking hate this.
Just get movement trays. Just get movement trays.
First of all, those cost me more money and I'm broke.
Skill issue.
Or I have to 3D print them, and currently I'm not living in my house that has a 3D printer.
Skill issue.
And every time I ask my sibling, who's supposedly college educated, to just like print something for me,
Hey, I'm supposedly college educated.
Yeah,
relax.
You're an R word.
I also went to a career college, so it doesn't really count.
I didn't. So here's the thing. As someone who like spams 20-man units of gaunts, it's really hard to keep them within 9 inches sometimes. But I'm not the type of person who will like take them and just string them along the whole board. So I don't think this is going to come up as much unless you're playing with one of those guys who are hyper competitive and wants to be an asshole. But I think this is going to deter a bit of gaminess within the system. Like now, you don't take one man of warriors and just string them along your whole black field. Yeah, your backfield to block anybody from coming in from behind.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is a new one. Is one shot central ed. It's now a use of universal core rule. So revived models don't get to basically reshoot again.
Were they doing that before?
According to Auspex, they were.
Weird. I trust Auspex implicitly, so.
Auspex is the primary source on this. We already talked about engagement range. I went in more depth in here of like who's winning and who's losing. If you guys want to go check that out, you can. I will post this chat in the Discord. This doc in the Discord, but I'm not going to go through all of this. Movement works exactly the same as it has. Vice first has been reworked. So the unit that charges still gets fights first, but the active player now picks the first among the units to fight. Do you know what that means?
No, you might have to say that one more time. I'm a little lost on there.
Units that charge still gain fights first. But the active player now picks first among the fights first units.
Okay.
So the change.
I feel like I need an example of that.
I wish I had a picture because it really does need a picture. Basically, the defender gets to pick the engagements.
That sounds really good for the defender.
Yeah, it's a very big nerf. But no, so how it is say I charge 3 units. We now select the defender gets to select which one the fight begins with. So say I charge the unit to the left, the unit to the right, and the unit to the center, and the defender wants to defend from the center first. We now fight in the center first. So you still get to swing first, but you no longer get to pick where we're fighting first. Which is fucking a word salad.
Yeah, that's not easy to explain.
You now have
Frankly, I'm proud of you.
You now have multiple. That's my interpretation of it. I could be completely wrong. Pile in and consolidate is now different. You have a pile in and consolidate into more combat, and then you have a pile in and consolidate into an objective.
Okay. I feel like that's not too much to wrap my head around.
Overrun works the same way. You can just like bring in more people into a melee combat. Disembark. So they've kind of retconned how disembark works. Retconn's not a good term. You can now deploy and still move up to 8 inches out of a vehicle. So Impulsor charges them up, deploys them turn 1. They can still move 3 inches. They can still shoot, not 3 inches. They can move their rapid ingress. They can still shoot, but they can no longer charge.
Okay.
I think that's how it is. A transport that moves.
You've got this, bro. I believe in you.
Or that's made a normal move or made an ingress move can unload a unit to shoot, but that unit cannot charge. Yeah, they can't charge. If the so tactical disembarking, if the transport has not moved yet, the units can disembark and then make a normal move. So how it is this is a rapid disembark. So it moves the vehicle up and they disembark within 3 inches. And then this one is the vehicle hasn't moved, so you can disembark and move them at their full movement speed. Combat disembark is basically when the vehicle has been killed and that's when you take your hazard rolls. And that's when the vehicle blows up and you run out. Close quarter shooting.
Sense.
What's up?
Nope, that makes sense. I'm following.
I need to go get. I'm gonna go get a Dr. Pepper because my throat's getting sore.
All right. And your stream is really far behind. Yo, anybody in chat play Trackmania?
I don't know. I was hoping my co-hosts would be funnier, but they're just sitting here not making fun of me.
Well, that's because you're not giving us anything to make fun of. It's just we have to be quiet and you're explaining everything, and then we'll get into it later.
It would be really mean if I just made fun of you for just being drunk and dyslexic and just not being able to read, which is slowly happening more and more.
Well, it has to be tasteful at the same time.
No,
You're really
yeah, right.
Feeling the naming
You're just
convention
sitting there
of the podcast.
drawing. You don't want to do anything here. You're just drawing.
I'm not drawing. I'm making a Trackmania map at the minute.
Yeah, I wasn't talking. I was talking illumination.
Oh. Yo, is Illumination drawing?
Yeah. I'm confused. What the fuck am I meant to say?
He's an artist.
I've just been listening to it on my tablet.
So close quarter shooting. Has sort of changed and has not. It's pistol, but they've renamed pistol to close quarter shooting. That's the only.
Which makes more sense because a lot of stuff had pistol that wasn't pistols, and that was not very intuitive.
I don't think it really fucking matters. I think this really didn't matter.
Not really.
No. So
good, buddy?
stratagems have changed. The biggest change to stratagems is that they've removed the layering. So you can only apply one stratagem to one unit.
Okay. Which makes sense because there was a lot of really broken combos before.
I'd do away with stratagems altogether.
That's fair.
Like, besides on really high competitive play, how often do you see people use stratagems?
I feel like it's pretty common, but the way that you would typically use them is like, you know that you're going to need this, like you're going to need a command point reroll for your charge because otherwise you fail to get into combat. And so you just save it for that and then you use it for that.
Yeah,
It's
I
like-
wouldn't count that.
It makes very little actual difference to the game. From what
I know
I've
that's
seen.
by definition a stratagem, but I wouldn't count that as a stratagem.
That's fair.
A lot of these are more like higher end. I don't think we need to. Oh, so these are all the stratagems. We can go through them if you guys really want me to. I don't think you guys. Do you guys want me to go?
Are there any
stratagem
like
by stratagem?
standouts?
So there's
No, but
there's
if there's like a couple that
There's a standout that I hate, and that is heroic
Okay, let's hear it.
intervention. This works exactly the same as normal heroic intervention for 1 CP. However, if you want to pay 2 CP, you can have a unit heroically intervene, but not heroically intervene. So the unit just gets to charge randomly whenever they want.
okay, that seems weird.
Yeah, so what's the point of calling that heroic intervention?
That's a
Because
great
they
question.
don't have to go in and fight the unit that is being charged. Insane bravery, always good. The crushing impact really should just be standard. It shouldn't be a command thing. It should be standard. If you run under a tank, you should be crushed. Or if a tank runs into
Yeah, I
you,
hate
you
it
should be
when
crushed.
tank melee is tied to stratagems.
Overwatch, again,
Won't
just
be
should be
bothered with all
fucking
this.
standard. They should have. If you're nerfing shooting this bad, Overwatch should have been given for free. And especially with how
I
it
agree.
works, it doesn't really fucking matter. Okay, because you only hit on 6s. So you're barely hitting them anyways. Which is really dumb. You really should be able to just shoot normally, but I can agree for the sake of balancing. So I do have some factions. I think overall the changes to Space Marines is going to be a net positive. I think all the changes are going to be a net positive for Space Marines. I think it's going to be
Net
a
positive how? Like it's going to be stronger for Space Marines,
Yes,
or it's just
yes.
going to be
I think Space Marines are stronger for these changes. Is how we should say it.
okay? I think you're probably right. Yeah.
I think orcs are going to be very positive. I think orcs are probably one of the few that have benefited the most from it. I need to be... Yeah, I was clear here. I think certain Tyranid lists are going to see positive. I probably should have put mid here, or mixed, instead of positive, but when I was thinking of it, it was positive. because so many new units now have Blast, and now you also have Blast X. So, like, for example, the new Eradicators have really, like, if I remember right, have Blast 2, which is fucking broken. So instead of getting 1 dice, they get 2 dice. So, Horde Tyranid is basically dead. But Monster Tyranid, so Crusher Stampede, is probably now going to be the meta. It's really good under these. Astro Militarum, it depends again on what you're bringing. Something like tanks are going to do well, but something like a lore accurate Deathcore Krieg, where you have a lot of artillery that's indirect fire, is going to do shit.
Which has always been the case, because indirect fire, when it's good, is always way too good. And we saw that in 10th as well.
I didn't mind indirect fire.
No, like they had to nerf the crap out of it, because for like a second it was too good, and then they were like, nope, none of this.
I know. I played against Zero actually when it was too good apparently, and I didn't have any issues. But that's one game. That's not. I don't know if that's.
That's probably because Guard is just terrible wholesale.
Which sucks. I like Guard.
I do too. I have more Guard than Space Marines, and I have built and painted 0 of them to completion, with the exception of that one tank.
The issue is that indirect fire is not going to be good. Horde is not going to be good. So it really leaves like either Elite Guard or the Iron Fist Guard, which is Tank Guard. Because, Lehman Russes can shoot just as well as indirect fire, but don't have the nerfs to indirect fire.
I really need to just build a Lehman Russ.
The Tau Empire, I like the Lehman Russ way better than I like the Dorn. The Tau Empire is mixed because stuff like Kroot is going to do really well, but I think the standard Tau army is going to get nerfed into the ground, especially with how hard shooting was hit. So, I should be very clear here. Basically, for all Chaos factions, it's very positive. And that's just because most Chaos
It's because
armies,
it's all melee focused.
yeah, most Chaos armies likes melee. Even Death Guard, which is a primary shooting army, does melee very well.
I feel like Death Guard is low-key one of those armies where it's like they don't really fight, they just don't die. So
I feel like
it doesn't really matter if you nerf fighting. They don't care.
I haven't played them in recent years. They were my primary army in 9th edition, but like with all the psychic abilities being removed, and when they reworked how disgusting resilience works, I just kind of dipped out of playing them. Thousand Suns, I think it's on a. So if I had to put it in the scale, I think the most positives is going to be World Eaters, and so that's the most positive is World Eaters, and then Death Guard, then Standard Chaos Space Marines, then Thousand Suns, for buffs for what's happening. Eldari is kind of mixed because Eldari does have a few units that like to get in close combat, but overall Eldari is a glass cannon, so it tends to rely more on movement shenanigans than anything.
Yeah.
So stuff like Hidden's gonna help it, but then because the game incentivizes melee combat, they don't want to be in melee combat all the time.
And I think we're going to get more killy overall, which is generally going to be, I think, their downfall.
Well, think about it like this. Take the Eldar. The Eldar versus Death Guard. Who's gonna... So they slam together and they start attacking. What the Eldar want is to hit, kill it quickly, and move to the next area. The Death Guard is gonna hit and then stay.
all about who can kill who the fastest, but I feel like Death Guard's usually going to out-tank in that situation.
Yeah, Death
but
Guard's
most
gonna
melee
out-tank.
armies probably won't.
But World Eaters, gonna, especially with how many of them have fight first.
Yeah, that's true.
Drukhari, I put positive here. The issue is stuff like fly hits them really hard. So it's really going to depend how hard fly hits them, because like all their vehicles are fly.
Right.
And they want to move fast. But other than that, I couldn't find much that negatively affects them. Now, obviously, I'm not a Drukhari player, so I don't know. Necrons, I put positive here. I put positive in a lot of them, because like when I was writing these rules, I was thinking completely positive. I'm not as positive on these, and I think because they're a primary gun army, they got nerfed.
Yeah.
Primarily, if you play a quote-unquote classic Necron list, which is heavy warrior, they're horde. So everything that people are bitching about and complaining, Games Workshop keeps encouraging them to play by how the rules are set up. I think we're going to see more Catan spam.
Yeah, I think that was kind of predestined from the start.
Well, it's just...
Catan spam is just a thing that they like doing. But...
Well, no, so think of... Because I have Necrons. Think about it like this. Why would I bring 2 massive walls of Necron warriors if you can just use blast and focus fire them down? Necron warriors aren't good in close combat. They rely heavily on shooting, which got nerfed. What incentive is there to not bring a destroyer list from Necrons?
Yeah, that's fair.
So you can't really blame them for the Catan spam. That's just how GW sets the game up. Like you can't hit somebody in the nose and then expect them to do the same thing. Adeptus Custodes are going to love the new Ingress. They're going to really excel at the new objectives. However, one issue that Custodes always have had is board control. And I don't see that changing. It's just a low model count army. I think the ones that actually benefited the most out of this is Adeptus Sororitas. And that's just because I fucking hate the ethos behind them. They have just as good guns, just as good bolters as Space Marines, even though technically in lore they have a combi bolter, not a full-blown bolter, so it fires a smaller round. So essentially they're all using bolt pistols, not an actual bolter. But they in game they have just as good bolters, they have higher model counts, and just as good armor. So they get to excel at the board control like horde armies do, but have just as good weaponry as Space Marines. So all the positives that apply to Space Marines apply to Adeptus Sororitas, plus they have a higher body count, plus they have things like Miracle Dice.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Sis is a battle divergent, so their body count would be 0, right?
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, what?
Sis is a battle.
Wrong body count,
He said they have a high body count. They do not have a high body count. The body count is 0 because Sis is a battle divergence.
No, there's nothing in lore. There's nothing in lore.
I don't think they're actually sworn to celibacy. That's
yeah,
just
there's
like
nothing.
a real
There's nothing in
You know
lore.
what? You know what?
That they're sworn to
yes,
celibacy.
they are, because I decide they are. Because fuck you guys.
No, there's actually an order that deals with the orphan kids of sisters.
Oh well, sucks. Doug?
Who? I don't think you guys are asking the real question. Who would be the Chads who impregnate sisters in battle? Because these are considered
the Death Corps,
the wives of the Emperor.
No. First of all, they aren't considered the wives of the Emperor. They're the
Wait, what?
daughters of the emperor. First of all,
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
well, isn't the Emperor into incest? Isn't that a thing he does?
Okay,
Since
well, that's
fucking
not what I was
when?
going for. Not
What?
quite my tempo.
since
Oh,
fucking when is
elimination.
this a thing?
Is it- Since
I'm so happy. His
Texas, man.
I mean, realistically, how exactly do you rizz up a woman who believes
What?
war is the ultimate sacrifice?
By being a
holy,
warrior
I
of
guess?
corn.
You know, I have a bone to pick.
Oh,
with
actually, I
people.
got a better idea. Tell her that if she doesn't, you're putting her in the Pentium engine.
Penitent.
Wait,
not
did you
penitent.
guys see the new
Penitent.
animation?
There we go. Thank you.
About the sisters battle? It's actually pretty good. Like I haven't liked much coming
Where
from
she
Warhammer
gets
Plus.
put in the engine. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she does.
Where
When
she
the
gets
sisters-
gaslit into getting put in the engine.
No, she doesn't
Yeah.
get gaslit.
She gets
What-
manipulated through.
No. What happens is the person who was in charge gets killed. So the person who takes her place deems that she wasn't forgiven, therefore she's being placed in there. But no, the show is actually really
Fair.
good.
Fair.
The show is very good.
I have not seen it. Is it good?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only thing
Yeah,
on
it
Warhammer
is.
Plus that's good.
Pretty solid.
What annoys me is Henry Cavill's been working on it for 3 years and he still hasn't released anything yet.
Dude, you know it's in development.
I think
hell.
that got skybotched.
Fuck up. I don't know Henry Cavill's bitch ass.
Why do you hate Henry Cavill?
Huh?
He's a little bitch.
Because Henry Cavill gets girls and he doesn't.
What?
What
Firstly,
did
he's not
Henry-
into women.
What did
Secondly-
Henry Cavill do to you?
Well, he basically just like was, trying to make The Witcher go mainstream, and then when the ship was sinking, he just fucking left.
He was
It's
fired.
like, all right,
No, it was sinking because they wouldn't listen to him.
Yeah, he was
He
sinking
was trying
because
to
it wouldn't
fix it
listen
and
to
make
him.
sure it was good.
It went
I'm not gonna say
mainstream.
that
Yeah,
he
it was-
isn't
No,
good.
no,
I'm not
no.
gonna say he isn't good. What I'm trying to say is that we shouldn't fucking idolize the nigga.
First of all, please
I'm
stop
not
using the
idolizing
N-word
him.
on
What
my
I'm saying
streams.
is he's actually...
I've asked you this
Why?
twice.
You're allowed to.
I've asked you not
but
to
it's
use it.
super sus. Because at the end of the day, all it takes is GW being, well, we're all fans of this franchise. We
GW.
all know what they'll do. Yeah.
Well, no, that's what I
Yeah.
was getting to. Is you can tell it's in development hell, and people aren't agreeing on what it is, and they won't fundamentally agree on what they want. One of the rumors is that the part of the reason why they made female custodies was to appeal Amazon, because they wanted females in
Amazon.
power armor.
Yeah, but Sisters of Silence are dead, and Sisters of Silence are awesome.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter to Amazon.
Why not? Sisters of Silence are cooler than fucking Custodies.
Dusk, you have to think like an idiot.
You have to understand,
So, like
people
you?
with money don't have brains. That's how they got the money.
I thought they went
No,
to
no,
That's
it's-
how they have money.
It's that they understand how
actually,
to get to the people who
I'm not-
have money, have
Yeah,
disposable income, and use it.
yeah. Jay, I think it's the kind of the opposite, because like it isn't Jeff Bezos saying what can and cannot be put on his streaming platform. It's the
People
bureaucracy
who went to
within
uni
the
and did
company.
marketing.
You know what? That's fair. How unreasonable of me to slander a man who could solve world hunger at the snap of his fingers.
Haven't we
No, he
given
couldn't actually
Africa
solve world hunger.
$2.8 billion?
I know. It's not actually right, but it's
I actually have a solution to world hunger.
Yeah, they should
It's
just
the
move
easiest
where the
solution
food
of all
is.
is it the Thanos solution?
No,
They
no,
should
no,
no, they should
Trump
move where the
presses
food
nuke
is.
button. No, Trump presses the nuke button.
And we
Yeah,
are
I think
changing
that's
the topic. Okay, Imperial Knights.
I think
So-
Thanos is
Imperial
right.
Knights do
Thanos was
not
right.
really benefit from much, because like they get the plunging fire, so they get plunging fire, which is good. But they don't
Hashtag
really get
Thanos
the
was
benefit
right.
from the terrain, or really anything else. Chaos
Hashtag
Knights
Thanos was
are
right.
just Imperial Knights, but they like melee more. Gene Stealers are probably one of the ones who win the most out of it because Gene Stealers interact with terrain so much. They're gonna definitely positively be affected by most of these changes. Now they are gonna be hit by Blast becoming more effective, but they also have a lot of like annoying tricks that make them hyper flexible. They're one of the ones that benefit the most from the new updates in the rules. League of Votann get a heavy buff because so many of their guns are AP. So in a game where shooting kind of sucks, Votann is going to be one of the few factions where they actually shoot. They can hit and kill things.
Rock and stone.
If you like Deep Rock Galactic, play Votann.
I don't. I just know it's a funny meme and people like it.
Adeptus Mechanicus. This Qatari are gonna hate the fucking nerfs to ballistic skill.
Sorry,
but
someone says guitar.
they have so many like other vehicles that I think it's going to be beneficial to just take the vehicles and lean more into a vehicle Adeptus Mechanicus than an infantry Adeptus Mechanicus. But also it's very negative because it's fucking so expensive. Unless you have Jeff Bezos' money, you can't afford to play Mechanicus.
It's true. I was in the store earlier today, the Warhammer shop, because that's what you do on a Saturday afternoon. And I saw the battalion box. It's like $200 for the like infantry transport, one of the chicken mechs, and one of the crab tanks. Which I got thinking about that. Like, what is the points of those? It's not a lot. It's not nearly enough. Because, like, what's a normal battalion? Because I think the big tank one that I split with somebody was 2 repulsors and 2 dreads. And I think any one of those units, I think, is actually more than the entire Mechanicus one. Points-wise. How'd that cut out? Can anyone hear me?
I get it.
I don't know.
I don't think that box was that great. So here's always my issue: is because Games Workshop sets the prices, they make like these boxes seem like a good deal, despite the fact that it's only a good deal because of them.
Yes.
So here is sort of a graph I made to try to describe sort of like the flow of the game. You're going to have unit terrain area. Is there your first question? And then that flows into infantry, beast, or swarm. Depending on what it is, you're either going to say yes or no. If it's like a beast or a swarm, they really can't be hidden. Therefore, they don't gain hidden. Shooting at this, have you shot at this the previous turn? Yes, they cannot use hidden. No, if you haven't shooten it, the model gains hidden. And this is sort of the flow of the questions per turn, if that makes any sense. So whether something gets a hidden rule or not.
That sounds annoying to try to keep track of.
It's the new rules. I mean, that's how they work.
Okay.
So
You
here's
say so, Mr.
another
Bossman.
here's another diagram for the sequence changes. So you charge unit, roll a d6. So this is a diagram for how to charge. Because they have redone charges, you now, instead of selecting a unit to charge, you pick your unit who's going to charge, you roll a d6, and you see if they can charge anything. Then you move closer and deal with the rest of the turn.
which is kind of convenient. It's a little buff to melee, and honestly, for people who aren't into the tournament scene, failed charges are just annoying because it's like I want to see the big fight happen, and now I don't get to see the big fight happen,
I have no
regardless of whether or not you're the one being charged.
I'm a negative Nancy a lot. I have no complaints in how this is set up.
I think this will be just fine.
I don't see anybody complaining about the new charge rule. Because the other thing is it opens it up. Because, for example, there's so many times where I'm like, with my bugs, I'll move in for a charge, fail a charge, and now I'm left in the open. One thing I know they're going to say is gaming the system is an alternative way of doing this, is allow them to pick the unit to charge, and we roll the dice, but if we don't make it, we still move that far forward. But we still don't make it into combat. It just doesn't make sense to, like, when you fail a charge, not to move, is essentially what I'm saying.
Yeah. But this seems silly. I feel like the failed charge, it would be interesting to see if we could make it work where, like, you fail a charge, you still get to move, but now you have to take an Overwatch penalty where they get to shoot at you first.
Well, no, but that's what I mean is, so you roll a 9-inch charge, the person's 12 inches away. You move 9 inches, they now pass to their turn where they have a whole shooting phase to shoot at them. Or pull away from them. Or they charge you. It just doesn't make sense for an incomplete charge for them to stay where they are, is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they move however far they roll in inches, but they don't complete the charge, therefore no combat sequences happen. Alpha Strike kind of sucks that it's being removed. I love Alpha Strike. We talked about missions in list building. We talked about combat. We talked about stratagem. The big winners in this edition are melee, mission flexibility. So these are going to be the armies that win this edition. They're going to be melee armies, and they're just best. It kind of makes me want to make shooting armies just to fucking beat the system. But it's clear melee armies are going to get a buff. Armies that can be mission flexible are going to win a lot, and armies that can support character combos. The losers, which kind of sucks, and this is why guard sucks so much, is static gun lines. I'm sorry, the guard wants to be a static gun line. Artillery. Again, guard wants to have artillery. They're gonna get fucking nerfed into the ground. And then stacked bricks. Again, Imperial Guard. All three of those are big nerfs to the Imperial Guard. They're also nerfs to things like Horde Tyranids or Horde Necrons.
Man.
They basically built the game around Hero Hammer.
Which is fair, because I like Hero Hammer, but
I do, but
there
I
are
don't
some
want,
armies that struggle in Hero Hammer.
I don't want to come in expensive armies. That's kind of my whole presentation. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Is there anything you guys specifically want me to go over again, or have any thoughts or complaints, or you guys just kind of overwhelmed with all the information?
It's kind of a lot. I have been through a couple of videos just to get my head wrapped around it, which is difficult because I didn't play any of 10th. But I think in general, I'm excited to give it a shot. I think it'll be a grand old time, regardless of whether or not the rules kind of suck.
Give a shit. I hate 10th edition. I'm gonna fucking hate 11. I swear to God.
Don't be a Debbie Downer.
They're gonna do it, man.
Here's the thing.
They're
Here's
gonna
the thing,
do something
Illumination.
stupid.
Here's the thing, Illumination. No matter how bad a game is, if you're with the correct people, it's always going to be fun.
Yeah.
But that does not justify or say the game is good.
I want to play poker.
Bastard, okay.
First of all, you need to speak in your goddamn fucking mic.
Oh my
I'm
God.
speaking.
I'm gonna be a salty bastard anyway.
No, share the salt. That's the point of Druckhammer. I've been waiting for you to share the fucking salt this whole time. Be entertaining. Dance for me, monkey, dance.
Okay, bro. That's interesting. All you gotta know is when 10th actually comes out, I'm gonna fucking hate it.
10th is already out.
Sorry, 11th. Fuck, I'm losing my mind. 11th is gonna come out in all its force. They're gonna make a billion changes. I'm not gonna keep up with it. It's gonna be like 10th edition, and I'm gonna probably just, I don't know, say slurs again.
This is why me and you are going back to 8th edition.
I've been trying to catch up with 10, and I barely fucking did. Now they came out with 11 because they want money. I'm sick and tired of this bullshit.
So have these changes not convinced you to start Warhammer?
Loki, it's just convinced me I need to get more money.
Get that bag. You can afford to play this game, you fucking bitch.
Right, once I get my brushes, and I set up the Shopify account and Printify account, you can just make money off your artwork.
How is those shirts coming? Because I want to cut to the shirts.
Oh, wait, I need my brushes first.
Alright.
Because what I'm going to do is get the brushes, put them all together, cut the foam, get the 3D printed models for them, do the ads and stuff. And then I'll make a Shopify account, Printify account, and put it all together.
Also, Illumination. I have a bunch of old miniatures in the 3D printer if you ever want me to just like kit bash a small force for you.
Honestly, it would be nice, but it's just... Maybe I just need to find a hobby shop near me, genuinely. Maybe I need to stop bitching, go outside.
So here's the thing. Is it's very easy to be negative because they're doing things that aren't sort of like appealing to any of us in the call.
I mean, it's just making it a little bit harder to get into it. Like every month you change something new.
But what I'll say is, it's very enjoyable to play the game even when the game kind of sucks. It almost takes away some of the pressure when the game kind of sucks.
It almost sounds like you're a cock and ball aficionado.
No, so this is what I mean. It's like when I'm playing 8th edition, I'm hyper locked in, focused on winning the game. But when I'm playing 10th edition, I don't fucking give a shit, so I'm gonna do the fun shit and enjoy the time with my friends. It's kind of like I want to go to tournaments this edition and run the dumbest army possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to take 500 gaunts.
You know what I want to do?
Kill yourself.
Well, yeah.
Okay, you can say that.
What are you showing, Jack?
I was in the hobby shop today, like I said, and I have decided that once I am done with the Salamanders army, I need to take a break
I'm confused. I don't get the
from
point.
Space Marines. And I saw these.
Were you showing them?
Archon Studios, or Dungeons and Lasers makes these cool dragons that I just thought I'd show you guys because they're freaking sick.
Where'd you show them?
Thank you for showing, bro.
Were you
The
showing
box
them?
art is not painted super well, but it's
Where are
cool.
you showing them?
What?
I've asked like 6
I have
times.
Is everyone single?
I have them pulled up on stream here, on Discord.
Everyone's single around here.
No, I'm taking.
I'm fucking your mom.
Yeah. Necrophiliac.
Why'd you close the stream? I just got here. Pull the miniature back up.
Hang on.
By the way, everybody who's like watching the stream, I'm pretty sure we're now done with like the actual important information. I think we're now just talking dumb shit.
The best part. One might even say the part that you've all been waiting for.
Well, I'd assumed that the two of them would share the information and bitch and moan a bit more.
About what?
How much the new edition sucks.
Or not.
Yeah,
bitch
but we
and-
tried, and you
That's
get
not the
told
only
to fuck
option.
off, so
I didn't tell you to fuck off.
No, there were
Well, that was
several
close
times
enough.
when you guys were quite quiet and we weren't sure that you were here.
What
Yeah,
did we
and
meant
then
to
when
come up
we-
with, though?
you know.
Bitch and
I mean,
complain.
I
I
had
don't know.
questions when I thought it was appropriate. I didn't want to cut you guys off.
Dance for me, monkey, dance.
Oh,
Those
did you
would
see what happened to Turkey?
those would be perfect. I'm still worried that Dusk is bringing up some dumb shit. Those dragons would be perfect for Age of Sigmar.
It would be. I've painted up one of the, not Age of Sigmar, I've painted up a dragon for some similar game. For a commission one time, and it was super fun. Aside from being terrible resin.
It's been really weird painting up like D&D style miniatures because like every single one is an independent character, which
I know, it's weird.
Oftentimes, like, will break my flow.
It helps if you can kind of like envision in your mind like what is the thing that all of them have, and do that first, and then you can work from there. Like do all the metallics and do all of the skin tones, and you're like, okay, now I have somewhere to work from. It's not
Yeah,
just
but like for
all of them
example,
are blank.
sometimes like the layers are different. So like I want to use the same colors, but they layered differently. Like for example,
Oh yeah.
one of the guy has armor on top of his cloak, and then the other guy has chainmail and armor underneath his cloak.
Yeah. I used to do a lot of D&D commissions. I don't really anymore because I was charging like $7 Canadian a model, which works out to like $5 US.
What the
And I
fuck?
was spending like 3 hours a model.
What the fuck?
It's an unreasonably low price for what I was doing.
I see why everybody was hiring you.
Yeah. That's why I was never working on my own stuff. And then I have recently been burnt out on commissions because so many freaking commissions.
Well, whenever
So
I
now
have
I'm doing my
I don't
own
do
stuff.
commissions because people complain.
when I have actual money, I
had
want
to
to
turn
I
down
want to
several
eventually hire you to do the Grey Knight, the Proto Grey Knights.
Sorry, what about them?
I have a Knights Errant army for Heresy.
Mm.
I was gonna say fuck it and hand it to you because you're the guy who wants to do all non-metallic metal.
If shipping would ever work out.
Well, you have to move to an actual reasonable location.
It's just a county address. It's not that bad.
The fact that
I
I've
didn't
sent
think
it
so anyway.
the fact that I've sent it through 3 different shipping services using the exact address you gave me should tell you how bad it is.
That's true. We do sometimes have problems, but like
Like
I ordered stuff on Amazon not that long ago, and it showed up like within 2 days. So,
yeah,
like,
because it's Amazon Canada. I had to ship through FedEx US to FedEx Canada to your location, and then that didn't work. So I shipped through US, then USPS,
USPS, which went to Canada Post,
yeah, and then for some
Yeah.
reason they couldn't ship
and they
it.
just it went to the red. Or I don't want to dox myself. It went to the city depot, and then they were like, "Nope, couldn't figure it out," and then they just didn't send it the rest of the way. Like it was so close.
And then I tried
I
UPS, and then UPS went, "We don't ship internationally," despite the fact that they say they ship internationally online.
I don't know. Weirdness.
So this
They
has
probably
been like
do,
a
but it's
3-month
specific-
period to
specific
try to
country.
get his commission to him, and now I don't even know where the commission is.
Did they not send it back to you yet?
The issue is I'm not living at my old address, and they didn't send it to my
Oh.
current address. They sent it to my old address.
You might have to check with your folks and see if
Yeah,
they have that then,
yeah.
because that's a lot of stuff to just lose.
That was 6 hours of work on top of 9 hours of printing.
And $250 Canadian of failed
Well,
postage.
luckily,
which
my
is
money is worth
horribly
actual
unfortunate.
shit. My money is actually worth something.
Yeah.
It was only
For
like
250
150
Canadian,
for
I
me.
could have bought all of the bits to build that probably.
Yeah, I was half tempted to just like ask you for your address and then go down to Amazon and buy you the heresy jump troops.
No, I don't need more models. Please. Please, not more models.
No, you
I
can
mean,
use
I
it for
am
kit
looking to
bashing.
get into the other. I'm gonna probably grab the Space Marine half of Armageddon just because it'll be good kit bashing food and cheap minis. But like, I don't need more models.
Well, if you
Not
don't want,
again.
if you don't, you can always ship them to me. I'll happily take models. This goes for anybody in the call. I'll happily take models off your hands that you don't need. I am a
Were you
charity
just
case.
complaining about your pile of shame like 2 hours ago?
Yeah, but I also really like retro models, and I would rather pick up a retro model than not ever have it. Like I really don't need the new box set. I didn't really want all the miniatures in the box. I would like the orcs, and I wouldn't mind getting the orcs, but I really wanted the books and stuff in it.
Orcs, I see them and I'm like, there's so many different surfaces that are all different colors,
brush.
and then green skin underneath all of that.
You don't need to do
Dry
that.
brushing is for plebs. Have you seen the way that I paint Space Marines?
You suck.
It's non-metallic metal all the way, baby,
I don't
including the green.
So this is what I was talking about. Is that like, I don't know when they started depicting them like this, but like historically speaking, like 8th edition, even 9th edition, they depicted the Space Marines as like having military paint. Therefore, it would be like hyper flat paint. So that's why I don't understand why everybody and their mother, when they're like describing how to paint to people, goes, "Oh, you have to like." He's even Squidmar did this. Oh, you have to think about hyper contrasting it. You should always push your contrast more and more.
It reads better from 6 feet away that way.
Does it though?
Yeah, you pick out the shapes easier. I know this because I repainted some of my stuff recently from the start of when I was doing these salamanders.
You've
and I
seen
nailed
my
down
work.
the black with higher contrast, and I can see it from. I can pick out the shapes of it more easily than I could before.
You've seen my
I might
work.
even have photos, but I don't really want to dig them up right now.
And my work like reads pretty well far away.
What are you talking about specifically?
A lot of my stuff reads really, really well from far away because I add a lot of effects to the base. So, for example, let's take my Imperial Fists. They're hyper bright yellow, and all of them have chipping around the edges of their armor. So the color that I've actually placed in them is kind of flat. Why are you Googling it?
I would like to figure out. Do I have Instagram open on here?
You'd have to scroll very far down. I could just DM them to you in Discord if you want.
Now I want to look. Alpha.
You want me to post something like right now so you can look at it?
I'll find you.
It's the Alpha Omega Project.
Oh, is there a Z at the start? Is that one?
Yeah, it's the.
There. Yeah, I also did this where I was the Death Watch Project. Okay. What is with this?
Talk to my co-host. So there's one
Okay.
of my Imperial Fists right there. Up,
What
up,
am I
up,
looking
right
at?
there.
Oh, found it.
So this is one of the earliest Imperial Fists. It's not a great paint job, but you see that I have the kind of flat armor, and then the reading is coming out through the weathering.
So that's a great way to show off the edges, but because it's not excluded to just the edges, you've lost some of the contrast and also like the recess shading. I'm not trying to pick apart your
Well,
models. 'Cause
so
this is
first
great.
of all,
I
this
like
is
the way this looks.
this is from 3 years ago. That photo is from 3 years ago.
And then if we pull up, I have not posted in.
So look at my
3
Space Wolf.
years.
Look at my you just look you had one of my best models of Bjorn there, and you just scrolled away from it.
Because I did this at one point as well with this style of, oh goodness. These are really quite old at this point. I did these guys mostly quite flat. Do I not have better pictures? Oh, there's a dragon I was talking about earlier.
My argument is I don't think you have to paint it that way. Because
So I did something similar, but I kept also the shading in the recesses.
can you
And
go
even
back?
like some of this armor still has specular highlights painted on it. And I hate these paint jobs so much. I'm going to repaint these eventually.
Can you go back to my
But I
page?
had
'Cause
to finish them really fast for the...
my Bjorn is one of the best ones I painted, and you were right in front of him, and you just didn't see him.
Sorry, you're distracting me with anime boobs the whole time. What am I supposed to do?
Right, okay, so right there, you
Oh,
have
here's Bjorn.
there's Bjorn.
So he doesn't actually have a lot of flat armor panels to bring out the readability on, because so much of this surface is just gold,
Yeah,
which
That's
I really
that's
like the way you did the gold.
that's why I painted the actual like wolf color. Like the wolf color is shaded. It is shaded, but I didn't shade it as much as I shaded other troops because I knew the gold would be the stuff popping. So I shaded the gold a lot more than
Right.
I shaded anything else.
I would say, and I wish I had photos more handy, but I will see if I can pull them up here.
But that's what I mean is like, if you look at actual like military painting, 9 times out of 10 they aren't like non-metallic. They aren't like
No, and I get that. Like,
they
if you were
aren't
going for realism,
volumetrically highlighted. Like very rarely does
You're right.
light actually work like that in real world instances. That's how it
absolutely.
should work. That's not how it does work though. And oftentimes because of this specific type of paint, and I found this out during my Eagle project because I refurbished a World War I cannon. They use specific types of paint that are anti-caking, anti-rust, and anti-chipping.
Yeah.
And because they use this special type of paint, it's almost very thick. Therefore, light doesn't reflect off of it like normal things.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to find the Dark Angels Dreadnought I did a while back for a commission. Where did it go? I don't even know if I posted it on my own server. That's sad.
Well, the one thing I've been having to learn really quickly is how to paint eyes. Because it
Yeah,
felt
eyes are
weird.
just difficult. There's people will try to tell you that there's a magic cheat code. There isn't. They just suck.
If you scroll up, I should have a few more wolf pictures if you want to look at them. Right there.
Yeah, and like this is like a little bit more of a flat armor where it's like you've got I think you've got edge highlights in here. It's kind of hard to tell with the
Yeah, so they're
photo
very
lighting.
thin. They're very thin edge highlights.
Right.
But basically, I put one edge highlight on it instead of multiple edge highlights.
But with the more like extreme style, like the style that I do, which obviously takes forever and is a huge pain and is not everyone's cup of tea, but like that style, I think you get more legibility out of the shapes just by where the highlights are.
No,
It becomes more obvious.
I'm not disagreeing with you. What I am saying is that is not a realistic way of painting.
Oh no, not by any means particularly, but we're not really painting,
But
or at least
that's,
I'm not painting
that's
for
but
realism.
that's what Squidmar and others have argued, that it's like, oh, this is how the light actually lands. stroke
I
my
think
ego.
it is very dependent on the.
Well, stroke my ego, but go to
light.
the Titus one right there in front of you. And down the Titus Kit Bash.
Oh, it's
That
like
one took
halfway off.
that took me forever to do.
I like it.
Well, this is also why I said I have experience in like actual miniature photography to like set up dynamic stuff for cover arts and other stuff. That is exactly what Games Workshop does, and nobody believed me.
That was me. That was just me. I'm pretty
No,
sure.
no, it
Nobody
wasn't
is
just you.
me in that.
It wasn't just you, because I love Pink Goblin, but she immediately did the same thing of like assuming that I didn't have any experience in it. And there's like 3 or 4 other creators besides you that all like immediately went. Even I don't know if Illumination did it, but I think one of us in the group was talking about it, and they were like, "Well, do you have any experience doing this?"
I'm sorry.
Maybe a valid question, but not. It was one that was already answered because you have done a lot of this stuff in the past. But
Yeah.
I have not been on Instagram for ages.
I mean, you can look even with
Exhibit
the
A.
brew. Yeah, well,
This is my most recent post, and it's
don't
from.
don't look at the
when was
chat.
this?
I've been still DMing you stuff in the Instagram chat.
I don't want to look at that. I'm afraid I'm gonna
Don't look at it on
dox one of
stream.
us.
Yeah, that's what I said. Don't look at stream.
I'm not completely stupid. I only almost said which city I live in earlier. This project took forever, and it actually looks so bad in person. I have it up on my shelf. But it was for Cerulean Project, so I was like, I gotta get it done, gotta get it done, gotta get it done. And so I did, but the quality of this paint job is very crummy.
Oh, I'm mixed because there's been many times where I just like I want to get project done because I just want to get done and burnt out, and I know if I set it aside, I'm never gonna get back to it.
Well, I had a deadline because the magazine has a deadline, which I don't know if I've actually seen anything from them. Did I manage to at them? I did. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Cerulean Project, but they do a
No.
thing every year where they have everyone. It's mostly Gunpla, but there's other stuff too. And they submit stuff that goes into a big magazine thing, and then the proceeds all go to mental health organizations. Very fun.
All my
think-
money already goes to a charity case.
Fair. But I have a mug from these guys that has art from one of these.
So, what armies are you guys looking at doing for 11th edition?
Salamanders. I gotta get my salamanders finished.
If it isn't Iron Hands, I don't want it.
Well, I was expecting you to say Iron Hands because I'm working on your chapter master.
Hot as fuck.
Dusk. Besides the wolves. To be fair, you already have like a full wolf army,
Yeah.
so
I've got a 10,000 plus point wolf army that I haven't
yeah,
painted.
you don't need any more.
Give me a second. So I'm finishing off the Sisters of Silence I have. Then I'll be painting the Black Reach for Dark Angels. Dark Angels for Black Reach, sorry. Then I'm
Howie,
going to be
please.
painting the Hobbit.
Please tell me you're
Then
gonna
I'm-
paint them halfway decent and not use slap chop.
No, I'm using Slapchop.
Hot chop can be good.
Fuck you.
Of course I'm using Slap... If I'm layering this shit, it's going to take me 50 hours for each fucking army, and I've got 100 of them.
No, this shit. I fucking hate the slap chop Dark Angels you did. It hurts me to see them.
Good. Deserved.
Oh, guys, I totally forgot about this rhino from ages ago. This Demios rhino. That's like, I think.
Do you still have the Death
headcanon
Watch
I had
guys?
for- I still have the Death Watch. I just have put them on the shelf for a while because
Okay.
they suck in
I
game
don't-
so bad.
Okay, I was about to say, if you say they suck in real life, I'm like, they're not the best paint job, but I think they
No,
have
they're
decent...
they're the coolest.
They have a lot of charm.
I would not have done this the way that I did this today. But I have this habit of taking vehicles and decking them out with way too much stuff.
You know what? I
Like,
kind of like it.
This is so over the top. It's
I like it. I like
it's
it.
a Dark
This-
Angel's vehicle, but they welded on the right side here, which is a Blood Angel's tank piece.
Yeah.
So the idea was that they like repaired it, which I thought was kind of fun.
I
But
like
like,
it.
it was so hard to do.
No, this
took
is
so
what
much
this is
time.
what this is what I mean. It's charming.
And so much of these paint jobs are so gross.
I fuck with it. I fuck with it. I recently looked at like the first Ultramarines army I painted, which was for my brother. I'm gonna need to go back to it because I have a few more models that I need to replace because they got damaged, like his Terminator captain and stuff. But I was looking back at the old Firstborn models, and like to give you an idea, they're battle ready. They're 3 colors, and I'm like, oh, those are actually kind of charming. I kind of like them.
Sorry, what are we after here?
What?
What are we looking for?
I wasn't looking. It's an old army I painted back years ago. I don't even know if I have a post on Instagram.
What?
You can look at the Titan that's broken. I can never play again. Wait, back up. Those are the
Titan?
no. There's the Titan, but if you scroll down a bit, those are the really good Imperial Fist I did for my own kill team that's no longer legal.
Oh yeah, because 2018 Kill Team was so much cooler.
So I had a Gravis Captain and 5 Heavy Intercessors as my kill team.
They're so cool.
See what I mean? These look so much better than that first one I did.
You did the crime of these not being shaded.
I did. I shaded them. I just didn't shade them well enough.
They don't look like it. Also, you didn't paint the undersuit on his crotch.
I didn't feel like it.
Fair, based.
I don't
also
know if
lazy.
you guys know this. I have dysgraphia, which basically means my hands doesn't do fine motors very well. So
Why didn't you say that sooner? I've known you for so long, you've never bothered to tell me that.
because I'd
That
rather
excuses everything.
I'd rather
Is it like
have,
that thing? There you go.
I'd rather have you guys like view my paint jobs like every other paint job.
That's fair.
But no, my brain doesn't do fine motor skills, so I'm actually teaching it fine motor skills through painting.
I remember this. This is funny.
People are trying to defend it in the chat. That's the funny part.
What?
There were several people. I don't know if I have to go look back through the comments that were defending Games Workshop charging this much for Wolves because they tried to argue that inflation charges more.
Yeah, it was on my fucking channel, man.
Well, you asked me when you give me permission. We both share the thing.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, on my channel with that fucking video,
Yeah.
that's when they said it. They said it to me. They said it
it's
to you, and I was
identical.
like,
It's identical, both on mine and yours. Whoever comments on your channel also comments on mine. The post is shared. It's almost co-owned. It's our son.
Oh dear goodness. Did I not take this photo and then take photos of all 3 of these separately? I didn't. Well, I think this is like one of my... No, that's not my first. Because my first is on Instagram. I have photos of it. After someone saw this piece, I got commissioned to do something. Like an actual painting, which I think was the coolest thing ever.
Depending on how much you
Yeah,
charge,
but-
I always need a thumbnail artist.
Painting stuff like that from scratch takes far more time than you'd ever be willing to pay.
I might be willing to pay if I actually
Dude.
had like money.
Okay, I made a little bit of Warhammer fan art before I actually knew anything about Warhammer. Some of this stuff is so weird.
I kind of fuck with it.
Can we examine this gun? It's got a flamer, a bolter. It has the plasma coils, and it has the magazine from a
It uses
storm
like
bolter.
it uses like plasma charged bolt rounds.
Sure. And a flamer, because why not? And also, there's a scope on it. I don't know why.
It's
I don't
it's
know what I
actually
was
not
thinking with
plasma.
this.
It's not plasma. It's just RGB lighting.
There's this.
Hey, Iron Hand.
Goodness, that was so long ago. I was in high school still when I was doing this. This is my first painted model, and I've repainted it a couple of times since.
I didn't
Since
repaint my
then.
first painted. I don't repaint my HQs. That's like the only thing I don't repaint.
Oh, this brings back so many memories. Oh, here we go. This is what it looks like now. I really tried with the OSL and really, really failed.
No offense, I think it was better before the OSL.
Yes. Well, it had OSL before, but I was like, oh, it's not strong enough. It's not hitting enough stuff. And then it hit all the stuff, and then it looked terrible. And this is back when I was doing true metallic metals.
I think the issue with OSL is the same issue I have with non-metallic metals. Of people tend to like push it too far. Like
I did
unless
face paint on the one guy.
you're in
I
a
forgot all about this.
unless you're in a dark cavern or a dark environment, OSL tends to not like glow as much as what people paint it as.
But it looks cooler.
Yep, you got a point there.
I want to steal the gun off of this guy so I can put it on a Primaris Marine.
Yeah, you can do the thing I did as well, where it's like all my Hell Blasters with the plasma cannons.
This is my first freehand. I scraped the original icon off this shield so I could do a freehand.
Oh, fuck you guys. That's why I don't do freehand. My dysgraphia, I just don't do freehand. My
This. Oh, here's my first Imperial Fist. If you want to feel better about yours, dear goodness.
I thought there's a massive improvement between like the intercessor that I did with like the red versus the kill team I did. I thought there was a massive improvement there.
I agree. This is probably the first OSL I did that I didn't hate,
I think it's
just
good.
from the one side.
It's one of those things of like I'm never going to be ashamed of a paint job I did when I was younger because my skills were not as good. Why would I be ashamed of that?
This is when I was still trying to figure out how to do the black, which I kind of got nailed down, honestly. It looks much better here, but now I do it with purple instead of blue.
Oh, I always do my black with blue.
You're part of the heavy metal cult. Oh, and there was a time when I didn't know how to edit photos or take them. This is still sitting in my FLGS. I did this for art class. It's been on a shelf in there since I made it, basically. I forget why I sculpted something on this knee. Man, I miss some of these old models.
Well, you should play with them.
No, because they look bad now. But I do want to revisit the idea of the biggest backpack boy.
The fuck you mean they look bad? I love these. They have a charm that the Primaris will never have.
I do want to get back into... Because I did one Raptor. Or I don't even remember what he was.
We should do a Badab War series where we each pick a chapter from the Badab War and paint
I
up
think that'd be fun.
an army.
But I
Good
would want
vibes,
to paint them all old school style with like the old camo schemes they sometimes had. Oh, and I gotta get back into doing basing rubbish like this.
I
That
don't know.
was-
I really like the Forge World interpretations.
Got a Howling Griffin. I don't think I knew that they were called that at the time.
What do you guys think about doing the Badab War?
I think it'd be sick.
Elimination, Dusk.
It's kind of been done to death, though.
I
Oh,
don't
my
think
sister
so.
still hasn't finished these. And no one's ever going to see this interior ever again.
I don't, I don't get why you ever painted the inside. And Dusk just left.
I don't know. I didn't think that you could, like, have the problem where it closes but doesn't actually close all the way. I didn't realize that that would be an issue.
Oh yeah, I see who's number one on your Instagram.
I haven't touched this in 3 years. I actually don't even know who this is.
I have no idea either.
Okay. We need
It's-
to look at
She's just
following.
she's just not disproving a stereotype. There's a stereotype in nerd community where males take
Yeah.
photos of what they do. Females take photos of them doing it.
It's a little bit odd, but this is why I had to quit Instagram, because I started following for the sake of followbacks, which worked. But now I have this, and it was at exactly 7,500 before.
Yeah, that's why you don't follow all those. I'll follow you if you follow me back accounts, because it's not.
No, that
organic.
wasn't even the goal. The goal was just like follow people who have Warhammer stuff in their bio or whatever, which I did a lot of, and it did work,
Alright.
kind of. But I think the peak of my popularity was I did a reel at one point. Did I delete it? Am I stupid? Oh, I should probably take this down. Mind you, no one filled it out, so maybe I'm safe. Yeah, I had done a reel at some point about the tank interior. It's like the only evidence on the face of the earth that that tank interior ever got done. And I would love to do a video at some point kit bashing these guys into like generic HQ units. So I think they're just sick. Man, I could not take a photo for the life of me. These are so bad. How are they so bad? I took a photography course.
Are you sure? Are you sure you learned anything?
I think this was actually intentional. I meant to have like this part in focus and then have him blurred out in the background. But like,
But no, this is.
and
this
I
is
also
what
used to
mean
go
is,
so
like,
hard kit bashing all of my bases.
I just 3D print my bases at this point. I need to 3D print a bunch of my bases for my Dark Angels. Because they're all like cobblestone bases.
I used to do this stuff.
Why'd you stop?
Because I'm freaking lazy and I have to do commissions now. Can't have
Oh.
any fun anymore.
I think I would advise you take maybe a few less commissions and do some work for yourself to be creative.
Yeah, I don't do commissions right now, at least. And if I did, I would have to like seriously jack up my prices.
Oh, well, I always need help painting my Forge Woods salamanders.
I love this tank, and I have a T90 that's going to be one of these as well. But I have to do all of this kit bashing work to put this turret on a new tank again. It's time consuming.
I was watching
And also kit bash the sides.
I was watching minisodes. One of the guys who does like a lot of like does a lot of second edition Warhammer, and they had like a whole video on like how Forge World would used to kit bash their own vehicles to make new tanks, and they would just give you data sheets and guides of how to make them yourself. And I'm like, what happened? Like, they literally had a mail order system where you could just order the parts from 2 different kits. You didn't have to buy the full kit.
I should do an update of this. This is no longer the state that my room is in.
It's worse now.
No, this wall, or no, the wall behind me and to my right here was full of mold because of a thing that was leaking. So that got gutted, and then all this room got painted white, and now there's hardwood. So it's very, very different. Weird.
Weird.
I'm not gonna miss this place though. This place was a dump.
So when are we gonna set up the Drunk Hammer painting studio?
I would love to be able to record myself painting, but I feel like I would need a camera that is right in front of me and then a monitor up in front, and I'd be looking at the monitor.
So what
And that
what
way I could.
what I do is I set my camera over my hands, and then I have like a massive TV in front of me.
Do
That's
any
how-
of you all have the New Recruit app on Windows?
No, I'm on Apple.
Oh. I don't know how it works. I was using the website and now I'm just confused.
I'm just using the website.
I am confusion.
I'm not even sure the other two are alive.
They're probably not.
Literally, I swear to fucking Christ, I've been here the entire time.
You're not responding.
When did you call for me?
Literally right then.
And he responded, "What are you on about?"
I asked him, "Oh, what do you think of doing the Badab War?" Doesn't fucking answer me.
I said I want to do red. What was it? Red Scorpions?
Oh, dude, Red Scorpions are fucking awesome.
Hang on, I gotta pull up all the.
Pull up all the chapters, because you're all gonna
Yes.
make fun of me for my favorite though. My favorite I like because they're assholes.
Checks out.
I don't know.
Which ones?
I painted salamanders in the old like Forge Worlds game from like 2010, and those were like just fun to paint. There was no stress painting them. It's one of those things because of the old Forge World style. They relied heavily in weathering, so it was like normal base coats in weathering versus the heavy metal style, which is a lot of edge highlighting.
Does the wiki not just have a list of all the things? I want a list
Of what?
of all the Badab War combatants.
You could probably just Google list, like go to Google and say list the chapters that participated in the Badab War.
It's okay, Reddit has me covered.
Reddit is not a valid source, and you know that.
I know. But if you just ask Google, the AI overview will reference Reddit half of the time, which
Yeah,
means that Google
yes.
thinks that it's a good reference.
Yeah, first of all, I never use Google's AI. Second of all,
Yeah, it's dog crap. It's terrible. Oh, I
Well, no,
forgot
so a
Carcharodons
lot-
are in here.
a lot of times they'll be like, well, yeah, this is true, but it's not the whole thing. There's a solution. I'm like, that's not the question I asked, though. Also, you're not streaming, by the way.
Yeah, I closed the thing by accident. Hang on. Bam. Who put a hot Eldar waifu in chat?
You know who.
Dang.
Okay, so you have. Oh, can you zoom in
Yeah.
a bit?
That's not what I meant to do.
Full screen that photo.
Open image in the tab.
Because I think, yeah. So you have the Firehawks, you have the Mantis Warrior, Executioner, Astral Claws, Tiger Claws, I think those are the wardens. I might be no.
These are
Looking-
tiger claws.
I know the ones right next to them. I'm not pulling their name. I want to say
Marines errant.
so. Those are Marines errant because I was thinking Nova Marine, but those aren't Nova Marines. Those are the ones down there. The
They have the
Lamenters, fucking overrated as shit. Don't know why everybody goes, oh, the Lamenters are so downtrodden. They fucking chose every single bad decision they've ever done. Red Scorpions, basically the Ultramarines of Forge World. The Minotaurs,
They didn't choose every single bad decision.
were they the ones who
The
started attacking?
Minotaurs basically annihilating.
Hey,
them was
hey,
not-
hey, hey! Did they attack innocent shipping routes?
That was because they were under the orders of Luthieron, dude. They
But
didn't.
did they not?
quick
Did they
thing.
not completely support Luthieron? Did they not side with
fair,
him on every
3 whole
single
chapters
choice
did.
and decision he made?
Like 3 whole chapters did, though. I mean,
No.
I'll let it slide.
No, 2 chapters did. The executioners only joined him because of a blood debt.
Could you guys
even
look
heard
at
of
my
these Star
fucking
Phantoms? Who the heck
Lilliput
is
Rex
this?
and tell me what you
The
think?
Star Phantoms have like next to no lore.
No?
What was that?
Check out the Lilliput Rex I put in chat. Tell me what you think.
Smash.
I
I don't think
think
there's really much more to be said.
I think our Iron Hands friend here hates the Sons of Medusa though. What's your opinions on the Son of Medusa?
I don't know anything about them.
I was asking Illumination.
He's preoccupied not responding.
You see what I mean by like I say they're not responding?
Oh, sorry. I was giving it.
Doing something other than drinking on this Drunk Hammer podcast? How dare you?
Yeah, I ran out of alcohol a while back.
Skill issue. I forgot when I was painting my salamanders that they put all the markings up on the shoulders. There's nothing on the knees.
Yeah, so
But
this
I painted my knees black anyway, and I was like, "Well, screw it. I guess I gotta put something on there."
This-
so
this
now I'm
is-
scrounging
this is-
up like
this is-
skull icons and stuff.
this is my issues. Like I had painted a whole squad, but I followed like the current markings. This is technically a different scheme because they use codex compliant scheme here versus like the normal scheme where they're not codex compliant for some reason.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because I painted the trim on the shoulder pads gold anyway, so they
Well,
were
no.
always wrong from the start.
So gold is veteran. But
Oh, but I'm doing it on all of them.
Honestly, I always put in like whenever they have a Mark III shoulder pad, I always put it gold, no matter if they're veteran or not. I just think it's cool.
Yeah.
But like instead of having like fire, you're supposed to have the arrow. So I painted all of my salamanders up to have fire instead, but they were meant to be Bedabor to have arrow. So I've now had to strip them.
You could have just painted over it. It's just a decal.
It was decal, but
Decal. I work at a sign shop where quest signs and decals.
yeah. But
Maybe
remember,
that's
you're
doxing
fucking.
myself. I'm not sure.
But remember, you're fucking Canadian, so you can't even speak normal English.
Honestly, I was about to say that it's Z, not Z, but I can't remember which one we're even supposed to say.
We say Z.
I say whichever one is convenient at the time.
So can you guys?
Yeah, I'm on my side, guys. So just as a heads up, I may have to dip.
It's 11.
Au revoir, mon ami.
It's 11 p.m. for me as well. Wait, before you go, can you guess who my favorite chapter is here?
Exorcists?
No,
Exorcists are so cool.
no.
No. Based off his personality, I'm either gonna say
It's
The
Carcharodons.
No,
the Astral. Okay, the Firehawks, the
no.
Astral Claws, or
Nope.
or. Oh wow. Okay. I have only one more.
Howling Griffins?
Nope.
Honestly, I'm feeling you strike me as the kind of person who would choose the Nova Marines
Nope.
or the Minotaurs. I feel.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I
Yeah,
knew it
the
was-
Minotaurs. You see why I don't like the Lamenters? Fuck the Lamenters.
I was gonna
Eat
say,
this
it's either the
dick.
Nova Marines
Eat
or
this
the
dick. We've been
Minotaurs. At that
fucking
point.
farming you on XP.
None of them appeal to you. The Astral Claws, I can see your respect.
Oh no! I like the Astral Claws. I like the Red Scorpions. I like the Salamanders. I like so here I'll go through. Don't like the Howling Griffins. Don't like the Mantis Warriors. Indifferent to the Executioners. Really like the Astral Claws. Like I prefer Astral Claws over the Red Corsairs. Like if I would have gotten the new Red Corsairs box, would have painted them up as Astral Claws. I think they are one of the coolest Chaos War bands / Renegade chapters.
I
No,
don't wanna
nothing.
get into CSM. They look fun to kit bash.
No, nothing about the Marines errant. Lamenters, I don't hate. I hate their fan base. Because the people who like defend the Lamenters always like playing victims. Even though the Lamenters did plenty wrong in this war. Red Scorpions, I would prefer the Red Scorpions to be the poster board chapter over the Ultramarines. I really like the Minotaurs, those are my favorite. Nova Marines have grown on me, but they never get to like do cool shit in the books. Indifferent to the Howling Griffins or the Raptors.
Really? Just lukewarm on the Raptors? Okay.
I haven't read enough about them.
Okay, that's fair. You should watch Pete the Wargamer's videos.
Yeah, that's where I found out
He's
about
built
them.
like a whole thing.
Yeah, that's where I found out about them. Sorry, my dyslexia.
Exorcists.
The Exorcists are cool. I think the one thing that's a bit weird about them is that like we haven't actually seen them fight demons, despite the fact that's their primary job. Like
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. But I
should have
really like the...
They should have shown up in Vrax, but to my knowledge, they didn't show up at Vrax.
I really love the little bits of lore that I know about them.
Well,
I
so
like
they're
their,
probably
whole-
they're probably Thousand Sun successors.
Probably, and that makes it even cooler.
See, I would argue that it's more likely that they're Thousand Sun successors than the Blood Ravens. I feel like the Blood Ravens are associated with the Blood Angels way more. Because like the Blood Angels are another chapter in this Legion that do have a lot of psychers.
I like so many of these, and this is why I started Deathwatch. Because I just like all of them so much.
So here's my thing: is I would argue that the Badab War is cooler than the Heresy.
It is, hands down. Like
It makes way more sense than the Heresy. Like
it's not even a competition.
I need to make a video because, like, despite the fact that I do like Black Legion, I feel like the justification for the Astral Claws falling makes a hell of a lot more sense than the Legions.
Did you know that because I have your address, I can now DoorDash you stuff on a whim?
Good
That
thing
is
you
a
don't-
threat.
Good thing you don't have my current address.
Oh, actually, yeah, I would just end up sending a cheeseburger to your parents by accident.
My mom would love that.
Dude, that'd be the funniest interaction.
So this isn't doxing myself. 2 years ago, I participated in the Ho Ho Hobby Vices. And when you have it set on Amazon, wherever you shipped it last becomes your now primary place of shipping, unless you go and change it. So, I had shipped the Ho Ho Hobby Vices thing to a guy 3 states away. My dad then subsequently doesn't check to make sure where he's sending it, and then sends a bunch of Christmas gifts to this dude.
So just some random guy got your Christmas presents one
He
year?
was super cool about it. He literally sent it back to us gift wrapped.
That's
Like he
hilarious.
did the gift wrapping, but my dad tried to blame me for it until I pointed it out. Now my dad will never apologize to me about that.
That's so funny. Okay, if we had to do a video about these, I feel like I would want to be doing the Exorcists, the Howling Griffins, and probably the Firehawks,
I don't
because
know
they all have
how
like a psychic-y nature to them.
me and you seem to be the most excited for this, so we can definitely talk about in DMs of how we would like to do this. I have a full army of minotaurs and a full army of salamanders on my desk. I need that's one of my.
How many points is a full army?
So as of 7th edition, I have 245 points of minotaurs, and I think around 200.
Friend, you said full army.
No, I said 2,000.
Okay, I'm following.
So it was a 2,000 point. I think I might just expand the
So
minotaurs.
due to points inflation, you've probably got like 1,200 of each now.
We'll see. The other thing is like, it's my debate because like, do I just like make the full detachment of minotaurs that they deployed? Because that would be cool to have that many, but I also don't know if I could afford that.
I don't know. Man, I wanna make more Space Marine kit bashes now, but I know that I gotta paint all of these ones first. I gotta throw some whips on the Discords, just because I was doing some today. I'm gonna be doing some with a friend tomorrow again. I gotta remember to bring my palette paper with me.
I think we should end the stream there.
Are you still streaming on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
Jubers. Hey.
Yeah.
Let me say bye.
No, you don't get to say goodbye.